morning, people. It is my favorite day of the week. It is Wednesday, the 5th of April. Welcome to TDA, the day after, your favorite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by the culture. And in this room, you got it's quite multicultural. You got one Nigerian, one Ghanaian, and but I am the Nigerian one. I am your favorite shade queen, my own royalty.
And they call me, man. The pro-black activist, TDA producer, news analyst, Melanin jam-packed.
That is right.
Omo Yoruba.
Sorry?
That's right.
You said pro-black, then you need to move 2 pounds in the jar. How are you, though?
Yeah, I'm right, man.
Yeah?
Can't complain. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Good. Another Wednesday.
Holy Wednesday.
How's it holy?
Because it's Easter week, isn't it?
How is it?
Yeah.
Is that a thing or you just made it up?
No, I think every day is like a holy something.
Well, Holy Monday, Holy Tuesday?
Yeah.
Yeah, so dramatic.
Yeah, it's a holy week, isn't it?
Christians are funny people. Because every day should be holy.
Yeah,
really,
but,
truly.
Yeah. But I guess it's because it's the leading down to, the days when Christ gave his life for the people.
True. Do you know what, though? I feel like Easter used to be more exciting when I was a kid.
Mm.
Oh, did you do oh, no, you're vegan. Before you're vegan, did you do the whole, don't eat fish? What is it you can't eat? You only eat fish, isn't it?
Yeah, you only eat fish. What day is it? Is it
Friday?
Friday.
Good Friday, yeah, Good Friday.
Yeah.
But okay. I don't do any of that.
Mm.
I found that'd be like the day I'm craving like a burger or something. I might try to do that this Friday, if I remember.
Mm.
I've got church on Friday.
Are you going to fast on the day as well?
No.
Okay.
I feel like I have a very interesting... I feel like fasting should have a purpose.
Yeah.
But I don't believe in communal fasting.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Unless it's we're all fasting for something.
But don't you see it in the same way then? We're all fasting in remembrance of Christ.
Yeah, but I don't know. I've just been certain things get commercialized and fasting just feels like one of those things. I know people do a whole... Is it Esther's fasting or David's fasting or... The Boaz is I don't know. They've been doing fasting curriculums in churches, and I don't know. It's just not me. I feel like it just feels like a religious practice, and I stay away from religious.
But
practices.
a lot of people don't fast, for example. So maybe that kind of will help them to kind of get in the fold, get support as well.
Fasting is it's a trip because I can go. Sometimes I have days where I don't eat.
Yeah.
And I don't feel hunger. The day I say I am fasting, oh my gosh, I'm like, nah. It must be 3 p.m. for example. It's gonna be 30 minutes. I just woke up. It's ridiculous. The temptation is so mad when you say you're fasting. It's very, very wild. But that's part of the disciplines.
Yeah, exactly. That's what happens, I guess, when you're trying to be intentional about certain things as well.
It is, You
get all types of things trying to stop you and rattle you, and
that's why I say I don't do diets. If I ever say I'm doing a diet, I'm craving everything. But because I haven't eaten since I was young, I'm craving it.
But this is why I think diet should just be your normal way of life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like for example, with Saleh saying he wants to he's actually practicing a keto diet. Right?
Yeah.
I guess that's just his way of life.
So what would you have said? Wants to be a keto?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's just his way of life.
Yeah, and I think that's what it is. That's my key. It's it being a way of life. So it's moderation. Whatever it is I want to diet for, it's okay, I'm going to have less sugar. I'm going to have more vegetables. It's just a way of life. When you put that word diet on it, honey, hella temptations.
Exactly. And then people also as well, I think anyway, when they've got a diet in mind, they set a goal. It's like, okay, cool, I've achieved the goal. Diet dies. And then you kind of just, from that point, just spiraling backwards. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because if you say you're not going to, in the past when I've said, I'm not going to have sugar this week, I'm going to catch up on the weekend. I should have had sugar all week because I would have had less than I've just had in the past 2 days kind of thing.
Exactly.
But it's very interesting. It's very, very mind... The mind is so powerful. I find the mind so interesting.
100%.
I'm trying to find a podcast that's more about I listen to psychology podcasts and stuff, but I want to listen to a lot more. I find the mind so interesting.
100%.
Because sometimes when I'm working out, and say it's boxing or whatever, an instructor says don't give up, guys. Like, it's mind over matter. And I say to myself, do you know what? Yeah, you're not tired. Keep going.
Yep.
I feel this...
Exactly. 100%.
This, like, strength within me. It's like, okay, let's keep going.
Yeah, 100%.
Your mind is so powerful.
100%.
It's interesting, man.
Well, you just said the mind of a man. It reminded me of a conversation I had with someone, but I don't want to take the conversation left in it.
How is it?
No, you just might find
I like
it
the
boring,
left turn.
It was only it was when I went to Harlem, innit?
Oh, yeah.
And I went to Allah's School of Mecca, right?
Okay.
And basically I was speaking to somebody there.
Allah's School of Mecca?
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, I spoke about the Nation of Gods on Earth before on the show, right?
Yeah,
Basically the 5%ers, they're kind of...
Oh, yeah,
in the simplest way, it's like an offshoot of the Nation of Islam, innit? Mm-hmm. And I was talking to someone by the name of God Supreme. Big up God Supreme. And...
Sounds like an Igbo person. I'm an Igbo or from Zimbabwe. They love their names. Manifestations.
And see, yeah, he was basically... Again, I don't want to get too deep in the conversation, but it just reminded me of that conversation where he was basically talking about mind over matter.
Yeah.
And basically saying that as black people, the original man has always been here, right? But just not in the matter form, more so in the mind.
Okay.
And through everything, basically we created this entire universe, but with the mind. And then we manifested ourselves in the physical.
Okay, God Supreme. Yeah. Your bad self.
But
Fair
yeah.
enough.
Sounds cool.
It does. That's what it can be, isn't it?
Yeah. Great, that one. That was a good one.
Do you guys believe in manifestations?
100%.
Manifestations.
The equal opportunity, do you know, fair. I don't think the feminists have actually clocked on to manifest the man in manifestation.
Does that mean if you're just always thinking like negative and positive? I mean, negative and stuff. What am I saying?
No, it's when
if you're thinking like negative. Now, obviously, you're saying you can manifest, you can think things and want it, boom, boom, boom. And obviously, people do the positive stuff. So if you think positive all the time, and sometimes if you're always negative, would that bring?
Yeah, actually, yeah. Because people say you manifested that as well, but it's basically that you putting things out into the universe, whether it's good, bad, or whatever.
Do you think that's true though? Because that's just like a coping mechanism. That's a proper like if it was, I understand why you would tell people that. Just think positive, think good, and it'll be good. Like once you get someone to buy into that, they're always going to be all right if they're strong enough if they're strong enough in the mind. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
And then obviously it's like law of averages. You're going to get the results. It's not always everything's not going to go for you, but at some point the results are going to fall into place. It might not even be a real thing, but do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I don't really believe in it because I just think there's so many things that accompany it. Like there's the work you put in, there's opportunities that are for you, there's opportunities that you don't miss. There's a lot of things. But I do find it interesting when someone puts something out out there and it does, oh my gosh, I've got one.
What?
So years ago, so I've always been a fan of you, right? Not for your music stuff, but for your podcasting stuff, yeah.
Okay.
First time I listened to you on Free Shots, you were my favorite. And I remember tweeting, I think, did I screenshot? I can't remember if I did, I'll find it. But I remember tweeting how you'd be a great friend.
Is it?
Look at us today.
Brett, you need some horns for that, man.
Brennan, you're sleep.
Man's looking at Brennan like he don't know where the horns is. He's over there going like this.
It's right, time's gone, forget it. But no, yeah, so that I wouldn't say I manifested a friendship with you. I just said you'd be a great best friend to have.
I think that's like sprouting seeds, man.
Yeah.
The universe is weird how people connect and stuff, how you can not, like someone can not be aware of you, but you're aware of them and you, like, because that stuff happens all the time. Like you meet people and you think, like, rah, that's mad. Like I've actually sitting down and building connections with people that I would not necessarily wanted, but you get what I'm saying? Like,
100%.
It's interesting. And that's why I find life so fascinating. Because sometimes you just never know, like my mind is blown at how you're on a journey and things might feel irrelevant. You might just be doing things, it just feels all irrelevant. And then like down the line, all the things that you thought was irrelevant or you didn't even take in was so important to you being where you are today.
This
blows my mind.
This is why the journey is more important than the destination.
I subscribe to that.
I don't know how much stock I put in fame or famous people, if that makes sense. But then again, maybe it's because some of them are famous for their talents, which is deserved, But I've found like I've had conversations and met or been able to sit down and be in the same room as a lot of people that I've like looked up to or admired for any reasons, whether it be sportsmen, musicians or whatever. Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like actors and all these kind of things. Like loads of them. Like not even like I can't even say it's like it's one. I'm saying like bare times. I'm saying, like, this might be my story. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, this might be what it is for me. Yeah, you get me. You just got to manifest it to get it there. You get me?
But it's just interesting. I honestly, life is so fascinating to me.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, it's such a enigma. Like, I just find it so fascinating.
Yeah.
Because it's true. Like you said, like, people that you admire, and the next thing you know, you're really, like, cool with them, or you're having conversations, and you never would have thought that.
Do you believe in manifestation, Emmanuel?
Yeah, 100%.
In what sense?
In the sense of you saying something, speaking something into existence. And I believe that when you pretty much speak something, it's you kind of, you're effectively you're just speaking something into existence, and you're walking into that. And I think a lot of the time when you say it, it's you hearing something as well, and responding to that call. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And then something in your life starts to shift, especially if you take it seriously, right? And you start walking towards it. So
when you say walking towards it, you are implying that action needs to be
100%, 100%. But it starts with the talking.
Does it only just include positive affirmations or
no? It's
desires?
Everything. I think it's everything. I think it's negative too. This is why I say you always find what you're looking for. It's exactly the same thing. If it's something negative, you'll find it.
Because you're walking towards it.
You will create an environment where that negative thing can thrive, can first be birthed and then thrive. Same thing with positive.
But do you believe that, like, happens 100% or no? Because when you say it sounds as if you believe it like 100%.
Yeah, I do. I think given enough time, it will happen. Just like I feel like if
you spend... it's not 100% then. Because if I just do it once, then I didn't.
Well, you don't believe manifestation at all?
I don't believe it.
Brent said no one can hear him.
How it's packaged in somebody's lips, doesn't matter what it is that you look to put out there, you will get it once it is you manifest it.
That's not true.
That's what people say.
This is what I just said. I don't believe it fully.
That's what people say.
Okay, I get what you mean.
Asked him in what
but it's like with everything. It's even like in the Bible with faith. There's no, you need your actions and your deeds to. It's not. You can't just believe in faith. You've got to put the work in with anything.
Because I don't believe anything in this life is 100% certain. So even with faith, I can have all the faith that God, like, this is what I want. I put all the work in. If it's not God's story for me, ain't no matter work, manifestation, anything I can do that will make it happen. This is why I don't believe in manifestation, because that idea that you just put whatever you want out there and then life and everything's going to come together for you and give it to... No, because that might not be your story.
Do you know, I think I said it before on the show, I see it as more so, if you have faith and you make a decision, you never make the wrong decision. You may set out to be a teacher, right? But because you became a doctor, right? Yeah. It was the best decision for you. But you never would have become a doctor if you didn't fully believe you'd be a teacher. That's basically how I see it. So it's not necessarily that you will become what you think at point A, but you will get to point Z and be happy that you made a decision at point A.
That's the manifestation then. Because again, manifestation for me is people saying, I'm going to put out that I'm going to be a teacher and I don't become a teacher. So like, say you become a doctor, yes, the journey took you to being a doctor, but then you didn't manifest it then.
Yeah, manifestation didn't work.
It didn't work.
Yeah. Maybe it's not as strict as that manifestation thing. Yeah. It's more so, I think, the faith element for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think, and I think that's what faith is. Because faith for me is me saying to God, I would like to do this and do that. I wanted to be a lawyer. My entire life, I wanted to be a lawyer. Like, I'd already knew what kind of charity I was going to set up. Ultimately, I wanted to be a judge and whatever. I'm on here talking about all sorts every day. Do you get what I mean? And I literally woke up one day and everything I'd done in my life, all through school, whatever, was setting me up to go to uni to study law. And I woke up one day and I said, I wasn't even working at a legal clinic at the time. And I just woke up one day, I said, I don't want to do this. And the feelings never come back again. Yeah. But that's what faith is trusting God to lead you down. I can desire whatever I desire. Like, whenever I pray, I always say, God, I say whatever I want to say, whatever it is I desire. But I always say, God, ultimately let your will be done. Exactly. And that's what faith is. Because understanding that God is going to do the best thing, that's so cool. God is going to do the best thing. I should do that when I do shisha and I just end up swallowing the damn thing, making my asthma worse.
Would you all actually follow what God wants for your life?
I don't understand. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Not start with you who doesn't go to church.
No, but when you're saying, would you follow what God wants for your life?
I will get to you because I value your opinion.
Your actions...
Wait a minute.
It's like God's telling you something and you're going to say no. It doesn't work like that.
All right. How do you hear from God? Talk to me. It's a reason why I wanted to start with other people, but tell me how it is you hear from God.
Why? Because they have
you
a better
just said
relationship
that
with God than me. How do you know? How do you know
you
what
just
my
said it.
relationship with God is like?
We're not starting this Wednesday morning.
Okay, sorry. All right, come on,
It's
let's
Wellness
go.
Wednesday, right?
Reset. Let's
Everybody
go.
needs to hear what we're saying.
All right, guys. Okay, now start there. Then start there. Go
I
there.
like what you
Time.
said, that you refuse to ignore God. Yeah, I love it. How do you hear from God? How do you, Margs, hear from God?
How do I feel like I hear from God? Through, I don't know, just through life, through lessons, through adversity. Like, I just feel like sometimes I want things and it's wrong for me, and I always get shown that this is, like, he shows me, man. Like, he shows me I'm guided. You get me? I've told you, I can give testimony. There's plenty of times in life where I know I shouldn't be here, and I ain't got no logical explanation of how I made it. You know what I'm trying to say? I've been in lots of situations where I didn't know what I was going to do, where my next step was coming from, left, right. I didn't have a plan. I didn't know what I was going to do. You know what I'm trying to say? And I made it through. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, so God shows himself to me a lot of times. You know what I'm trying to say? So when you're saying, do you follow what God wants? I'm saying that I don't have a choice. I don't feel like I have a choice in it. You know what I'm trying to say?
When you say you feel like you don't have a choice, you implied that all the times he was speaking to you, you ignored, and then you found out as to why you should have listened. So when you say now you don't have a choice, is it that you're now listening to what God's saying?
I feel like even the lessons are vital. So if someone was showing me something and I didn't listen and I'd done something and then it burnt me, it was a lesson that I needed. It's still God talking. And you get what I'm trying to say?
I think so, but expound on that.
I don't. Everything bad that happens to me, I believe it was. I can't explain. I'm grateful for everything. If that makes sense.
I hear that. Does it inform your next decision though? Because as you just said, the lesson that you learned from ignoring God is what you classify as you listening to.
Oh, so you...
What's it, hindsight? That's how I listen.
So you're saying that's my thing. Oh, if I keep ignoring him, then that's what is working. Nah.
I thought you just said.
Nah, it's not like that. It's not like I'm purposely ignoring. I'm only human, innit? There's times when you do. You get what I'm trying to say? There's times when you would go for things that I'm not. Maybe you shouldn't. I can't explain it. Like maybe you know. In the back of your head, this might not be the right thing to be investing your energy in, or this might not be the right thing to do. Boom, boom, boom. You get me? And even though you know in the back of your head there might be little signs there, and then you get proven right, and you're like, all right, you know what? You got to take heed to the signs that are coming your way in it. So you need to learn from your mistakes and stuff like that. But you're only human. There are going to be times when you go against the grain, regardless of even if you've been shown before, because that's just how we are, innit? But I'm not purposely just trying to ignore things and saying that's going to get me to the right path. Because you don't know it. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know what's gonna happen. So I don't feel like I'm in control of whatever signs God's given me. They materialize when they materialize, and I work it out how I work it out, whether it was all negative or all positive or whatever. I don't think like I'm actually in control of that. I just got to be led.
Where does your sense of wrong come from?
What, wrong and right?
Yeah, because you said that you know you've been in positions or situations where you're going to be doing something wrong, but you end up doing it anyway. Like, where does that alarm of you're walking into something wrong right now, where does that come from in your perspective?
I think everybody's got a sense of what's wrong or right within them, their moral compass, because everybody's different, isn't it? It's not the same within anybody. So I think we can all gauge of when we're doing things that are quote unquote wrong or right. Even if it's not in anybody else's eyes, it's in our eyes. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I think that you know when you're... Don't we all?
No, but where does it come from? Is it from, like, nurture? Is it from your surroundings, your environment?
Nurture, maybe, yeah.
Things being
Nature.
placed onto you by others? Is that why sometimes you rebel? Because nobody ain't telling me what to do. You're not going to form my moral compass. That's why I'm going to do what I want, even though it feels wrong. You put this feeling in me.
You say it's not my fault. I go against the grain sometimes. I do that a lot.
All the time.
You say all the time?
All the time.
What do you mean?
You go against the grain all the time.
It's not all the time.
All right.
Okay, sorry.
You know what's man? How are you going against the grain? While arguing, don't go against the grain.
All right.
It's in you, you know. Like, it's just, you can't help it.
What, to just be
To do
contrarian?
that, no.
Yeah?
Yeah, to do what you just did.
I can't help it. That's not me, that's God.
I don't know if it's God.
Okay, what is it?
As in doing bad things all the time?
No,
Or
it has me
feeling-
doing what I want, bad things. Doing what I want doesn't equate to bad things.
When you, it's so funny. Because a line, the devil's in him. This came into my head, but it's not on you, obviously. It's just a stupid line in the movie. It doesn't make any sense.
So,
Devil's not in you, sir. All right.
Why not?
You say, why not?
No,
Relax.
I never said why not.
What did you say?
I said why not.
Oh. I thought you said, why not? Like, you're going to go against the grain about the devil.
The devil's not inside me. That's
Let's put it
why.
to Esther and Emmanuel. The question I asked at the top. What was it again?
How do you hear God?
That was the second question, but yeah. How do you hear God?
From praying, reading the Bible, sermons, conversations I have with people. The Holy Spirit's always talking to me. Yeah, that way.
So, in doing all those things, you get closer to God.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing, or correct me if I'm wrong, your intuition or your receiver is more fine-tuned when it is that you spend more time with God.
Yeah.
And before doing something, your spirit liaises with the Holy Spirit, and then there's a confirmation or there's a stay away from that. All right, okay.
Like I feel peace about things that I want to do. When my mind is, sometimes my spirit is troubled about something, but I know I shouldn't be doing it, but I still go ahead and do it because flesh and spirit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how it's interesting because sometimes I have thoughts as well that I just feel like it was just a thought.
Yeah.
But then it's not a thought. Do you get what I mean? Because I will have a thought and be like, oh, okay, I was just thinking that. And then say I get in my car and I'm listening to a sermon. Like the sermon I listened to that day reaffirms what the conversation that what I've had.
Exactly.
And sometimes it's me being told off by, like, say for example, something's bothering me and I'm like, I need to read my Bible more, pray more, whatever. The sermon I listen to reinforces the thoughts that have crossed my mind that day or about anything.
Emmanuel, I don't know why some people actually question whether you're a Christian or not. I don't know where they got that from. But is it the same? Is it the same as is with Esther with you? As
pretty much.
How do you get closer to God?
I think that peace, right? You know what I'm saying? Like just peace with knowing, peace with making a certain decision, right? You may not know necessarily, okay, what's going to come from that decision, but feeling comfortable and at peace is basically confirmation that whatever comes from it will be, will benefit me, pretty much. But that's in the context of me as an individual. I also believe I hear God in how our people move as a unit. You know what I'm saying? That's how I personally see it as well.
What do you mean by
like
that?
in the sense of when black people or when, for example, Yoruba people or whatever people in that context I'm referring to come together and aligned and move towards our betterment, I believe that's the will of God. That's God leading us and speaking to us and us responding at different times and together towards a particular goal. That's the word of God. That's the will of God. That's God speaking.
So when we collectively move to wickedness, that's also...
No. Of course, it has to be for our betterment. You know what I'm saying? So survival, thriving, that type of thing.
So you've connected it to the black community somehow.
Yeah.
It's not a somehow thing, but yeah,
I'm interested to see.
Yeah.
The connection.
Because I like I said before on the show, I don't see the point in your religion, right? If it does nothing for you here on earth, I don't see the point. Me personally, right? Yes, of course you're gonna go to heaven, this, that, and the third, yeah. But you've got certain things to do here. Religion is for you here, so it must do something for you here. Otherwise, what's the point? Do you get where I'm coming from? That's how I see it. And so I believe God speaks to you here for a reason. And you can only hear from God if you are alive. You know what I'm saying? And me personally, of course, my Christianity, my belief in my God is aligned with my pro-blackness, for lack of a better term. And so the two are totally in sync for me. You know what I'm saying? Again, in the Bible, it says, do not envy the way of the oppressors. To me, that speaks to us as black people. Don't envy the oppressor. Who's your oppressor? We know who the oppressor is. So again, let's come together, align, listen to the word of God, and go to where you're going.
So, the Bible was written before the transatlantic slave trade, right?
Yes.
So, the verse you just quoted,
Yeah.
was that a forewarning to no? Why did you mention that as?
Because I don't think the Bible is just a historical document. I believe it's alive. So, in the same way it spoke to the people then who wrote it, who then listened to it, the generations after, and us today, who consume it and whatnot. I believe it's alive and speaks to us. You know what I'm saying?
When you said alive, I'm like, oh, is it the way it changes over? I hear that. All right, cool. So why? Back to the original question I asked, right?
Yeah.
I think I remember it. Let me see. We were talking about manifestation.
Yep.
And us looking to manifest things, right? And then we could say what we want to say, but it depends on God's will. Yeah. Mm-hmm. If it's God's will for us to do something that we're not manifesting, why are we following God's will?
Are you following God's will?
Why?
No, but are you?
I believe you will, I believe you will, because God is sovereign. So God being sovereign, God is always going to get his way. Doesn't matter how much you try to go left. If God wants you to go right, I feel like...
Sure.
Do you agree with that?
Sorry?
Do you agree with that?
That God is sovereign, yeah.
No, that doesn't matter what we do. We will always
do God's will.
Follow the path
I
that
think
God wants for us.
for certain things, yeah. 'Cause obviously we got free will and stuff, but I'm thinking about it in terms of... So say, for example, I wanted A, but what God wants for me is B. I may not actually get B, which is what God wants for me, but I will never get A because it's not what God wanted for me. Do you get what I'm saying? So does that make sense?
Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
but
so,
you got if you stray too far from the light, then you go to the dark. If God's powerful enough to have plans for you as well, yeah. But if you believe, then you got to respect both sides, and the devil does too. You get what I'm trying to say? So you could be doing things, and it's not God's plan. You're walking in. It's the devil's plan for you.
absolutely, that's C.
You know what I'm trying to say?
The devil's plan is C.
Say C.
That's not even in the equation. Because what I want is A. What God wants is B. I'm striving hard for A, but God is not going to give me A. But because I'm not listening to what God wants for me, I'm not going to get B either. That's where he comes in.
What about for the people who don't even subscribe to this higher being, this sort of spaghetti monster in the sky?
And
That's all right. That's them. They'll be all right.
Manifestation, does it take on a different flex? Believing in the universe and everything being interconnected?
I don't know, but it's all the same stuff because people who don't like they do the same things. They just do it differently. Like, do you get what I'm trying to say? Like people who say they don't believe in faith and all that, whatever, yeah, but they believe in luck. Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say? How can you believe in luck but you don't believe in faith? Good luck and bad luck, but faith is a crazy concept for you. But luck is a real thing. Oh, I'm lucky. Oh, I'm unlucky. All right, cool. So when you're looking for that luck, whoever you're praying for, that's your God. That's your. Do you get what I'm trying to say? If you tell me you're atheist, I don't believe in faith and I don't believe in luck or none of these things either. Then we're gonna have a different conversation. But I've seen people who told me they got no faith, don't believe in God. They can't understand the concept of it, but they can understand the concept of luck. And I'm like, you're lost. You get what I'm trying to say?
Let me throw something in there, yeah.
But let me throw him a compliment before you start. It's always nice, right? You can sit down with Jordan Peterson. Is it Peterson?
Yeah.
And you can cook.
You reckon?
Yeah. Like, you said you didn't go to primary school, secondary school, or university. How you been able? Yeah, you're not there. Yeah?
You already know. Okay.
How you are able to basically reason and like find logic in certain things? It is really fascinating.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. Just an observation, not a compliment. Why I say it's a compliment. Sorry, Maya, go on.
Yeah, we're talking about the importance of faith, yeah. And we're talking about manifestations, how it's linked to faith, and this, that, and the third. If you believe this, that, and the third, right? What about those who don't believe in your God?
But believe in someone else's?
Yeah.
I think that's, for me, they're the same. I think we're the same.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're the same, honestly.
Esther, what do you think?
We're not the same.
See, I knew you was going to say this, right?
Because,
No, and I hear it, and I respect it.
This is why I asked the question. So, for that person who makes it to point A, for example, what got them there? Was it just sheer will and determination?
I don't know. I don't know. But again, remember that B was what God wanted for them. So you might do A, but because you don't believe in God, I mean, that would be if that's what you wanted, that would be the best thing ever. But B would have been better anyway. And
also, how do we know point B is what God wanted and not what we wanted? Because a lot of the time as human beings, we always like to say, okay, you know what? I wanted to be a teacher, but I'm so happy being a doctor now. I'm pretty sure this is what God wanted me. I have peace. So, 100%, he led me here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now, somebody who doesn't believe in our God, or let's just say the Christian God, for example, may have this exact same experience. Yeah. Like, like, you get what I'm trying to say? Like, what would we attribute that to?
If there's a man, yeah, and let's say he's I don't know, anyway, Islam. Yeah. Islamic man. Good man. Yeah. Man of faith. No, good person. This is you know what I'm saying? Good man, man of faith, does his thing. This is a good person by anybody's standards, and he's successful in what he does in life, and he puts it all down to his faith, in Allah. You get me? And the way he steps in life and the things that he's done and what he's gone through. That's all that he puts it down to, and you can see the examples of a successful, God-fearing man over there because he believes in a different God and different religion. What are you saying? All his success is that? So he just misguided, mistaken. Like, was it your God that held him down and he just don't know? Or, like, how are you praying him? Like, is he wrong?
Can I just add something? Just to make... I don't feel like I really need to make the story real, but that exact same thought happened to me. I was watching a program, and this Muslim guy from, I don't know, Arabia or somewhere, right? Yeah. And I think he was managing, like, an orphanage. And he was praying for assistance, help from charities, this, and the third. And this guy was, like, when he's telling the story, he was, like, remembering it. And he was crying. When I say crying, crying real tears, saying, oh, Allahu Akbar. Thank you, God. Thank you, Allah. Everything. Saying, in that time of need, I prayed. Yeah. Allah answered me. And I'm so grateful to Allah. This, that, and the third. Yeah. And I thought to myself, if I'm somebody who come to proselytize to you and tell you, oh, become a Christian and stuff. Yeah, proselytize. It's like, proselytize. It's like
never heard that word before.
Spread the word and try and convert you in that, right? How do I tell you?
You couldn't. He's got his own personal relationship with God.
You know what I'm saying? How? Yeah. So yeah. Sorry to answer Mark's question. Yeah. What would you say? How would you?
I don't believe God, as in my God, God's blessings are just for His children. But the thing is, His children are the one who acknowledge that their blessings have come from Him. I feel like with every human being, even atheists and whatnot, they're atheists that are successful in life and have beautiful children, have beautiful families, have beautiful blessings. For me, I believe every blessing comes from God, but not everyone would acknowledge the fact that it's come from God. Do you get what I mean? So you might attribute, as someone who worships like the God of thunder and stuff, because people do that, and they're also very successful, and they will attribute it to thunder.
No, but what about someone who's attributing it to not Zeus or Thor, like a proper God? Like he's saying, Allah, he is attributing it to God. It's not your God, but he is attributing all these things to God. Yeah. So what for you? I'm saying, what's the rub there? How does that? Are you? Because I think it, for me, and that's what I'm saying. There's a higher connection with God and all that and religions and the universes. Like, I feel like we're really connecting on a different level. It's like when I can say that one of my friends that's estranged or whatever, and they've just been on my mind, on my soul for a few weeks, but we don't speak. You get me? And I don't know why I didn't press that button, but then they call me. You get me? Yeah. Things like that are like
that as well. Because I can be thinking about someone, then I'll message them and they'll be like, wow, I needed this, or I'll send them like a prayer or something, and they'll be like, wow, I'm dealing with this and that, and this was fitting.
Yeah, so this is what I'm saying. So we're all connected, isn't it? Yeah, I can't tell myself that like a God-fearing man who lives their life right from any religion, is wrong, and I also can't look at him with like, I don't know what the word would be, because I don't even know I'm struggling to find a word for. What's the word? How can I be looking at a man saying like that man, like you're saying that guy, the brother you told me, and I'm looking at him thinking, oh, you're so naive. That wasn't hello man. That was my G. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? That wasn't your G that held you. That was my G, kid.
Like what it comes down to,
you know what I'm saying? Like, how can I can't do that.
I get you, but I think what it comes down to is what your personal beliefs are. For me, I only believe there's one God. And that's the God I serve. So it doesn't matter what anyone presents to me, this, that, and the other. I think people can have whatever faiths that they want to have. That's fair. That's the kind of family I grew up in, with different faiths.
Yeah.
But for me, myself, me and my household, as in me, individual Esther, my temple, there's only one God. There's only one sovereign, almighty God. So, I don't believe his blessings are not restricted to just his children, because children go through things. There's Christians all over the world who are being killed and persecuted, and so much stuff happening to them. Do you get what I mean? But
so what about,
not everyone acknowledges where the blessing comes from.
So what about the idea, that there is loads of gods? Our God is the all-seeing and almighty God, granted. There's tares, but there is other gods. You get me? For real, Odin and Freya and them gather there. You know what I'm trying to say? And any other man, like, they're about, innit? There is other gods, but there is one God that's top boy.
We're thinking exactly the
that's
same.
our God. I mean, I can see that. Couple of Achilles outside, you get me?
Because I was going to ask that, like, a lot of the time, obviously, I guess based on Christianity, Islam, Judaism, we kind of think in monotheistic ways, right? But what if it is a case of we're henotheistic, where, like Mark is saying, there's several gods, right? But you kind of are meant to, I say meant to loosely, right? Serve the one God for you and for your people, essentially. So if you were a Jew, right, or came from Israel, you would worship Jehovah. If you was Arabic, maybe you would worship Allah. If you was Yoruba, you'd worship Olodumare. You know what I'm saying? If you was whatever it may be.
Yeah.
What about that?
But the book that you follow or subscribe to, talks about there being different gods anyway.
But are you talking about alive gods or idols? Because two different things.
Gods. What do you mean idols? Idols are the things that can't give you power.
I'm trying to figure out what
No,
you're
I
talking
said
about.
gods.
Okay, so
because the things that can grant you power, the things that can grant you
okay.
blessings, these blessings that you're speaking of from other people, it could be their gods giving them goodwill and good.
This is exactly what
But the Bible speaks about that though.
Okay.
But the Bible says that I am the one true God.
Oh, okay. So what are you saying? Are you saying?
Remember the example of who was it that came down from the mountain? Was it Moses? And they were worshiping other gods, and then there was like a battle, like a face-off between Moses' God and their God. So he's like, throw down your staff. And then they threw down their staffs and it turned into snakes. And then he threw down his staff and it came into a bigger snake. And
all of their
snake
snakes
gobbled up that snake.
Yeah.
So to suggest that there weren't other gods flexing power and giving blessings to this and next, I didn't grow up thinking anything other than that.
Okay, I'm with you.
That's what I believed.
But saying that though, Brent, the average Christian would say that's not other gods. That's God versus the devil. You know what I'm saying?
But you already know my flex. You already know that because of my conditioning, I believe there's only one true God, right?
Yeah.
And I do believe that the fallen angels, including the devil, have been masquerading across the history. Yeah.
So older
being all sorts of different gods, different people.
Like Floki and Zeus.
100%. 100%.
I said Odin, Floki.
Because I do believe they existed. You can't have entire civilizations, entire cultures, entire people.
The Greek gods are
believing
cold.
in these things.
Greek mythology is cold. There's a place for them, man. They're cold because it's like even if it was just on a comic book thing, like I get it. Like them, like Zeus and them, man. They're Poseidon and that. Yeah, man. That's big drip.
So annoying.
No, what do you mean? It's like Avengers and thing. That's cold. Hades. All these stuff are like.
Sorry, before you continue, Max. But this is what I believe in, man, yo. I've communicated this before on this same show.
Yeah.
Do you understand? All right. But I don't want to go as far as to basically say that.
You think the heads of all these other religions out there are the fallen angels masquerading as?
When you say heads.
So, there's other religions, isn't it? Islam, Judaism, Hinduism, Buddhist, boom, boom, boom. Whatever their top of their religion is, whoever they look up to. Yeah?
As in how we look up to Jesus, you're saying?
And God or whatever. Whoever their heads of their religion is, they're saying they are
Masquerading.
fallen angels, false prophets, false idols masquerading as something else.
I mean, the same way other religions feel as though...
That's why religion's so contentious. Because even if you say that out loud to other people, that can cause wars and
he
stuff.
was just a prophet and he had a child. I mean, they can slander. They can slander.
We all believe what we believe.
I believe what I believe.
That's true.
What I believe.
That might be wrong, but I believe
This is why religion is the biggest cause of war in the world.
It is, but
100%. stuff like that. Yeah, it really does.
They
It really does
zealously believe
divide
that
and
they will die
segregate.
for it. They will kill for it.
I don't think nothing divides and segregates modern religion.
No,
Not
it
race,
doesn't.
not class, not nothing.
But that's why it's implored in the Bible to be kind to all.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And any religion that preaches that, I can sit down and sup with you.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Sorry, Manuel.
It's interesting.
No. What was I gonna say? By the way, guys, this is basically topic of the day. So
What? You better move it around, boy. You better press the buttons because we ain't doing this twice.
That's what he's saying.
No,
Oh.
yeah.
Okay.
This is topic of the day.
That's what he's saying.
So I'm gonna basically morph what I had originally for topic of the day into this because it's pretty much linked as well, isn't it? But so I do want to kind of touch on this whole
We're gonna cut a headline off as well while we're at it.
I don't mind. What was I gonna say? Oh, I can't remember.
Topic of the day, you're gonna morph it into this
Yeah,
as
but
well.
there was something I was gonna say before we kind of moved on to that. It'll probably come back to me. But all right, cool. Obviously, we've spoken on the show about, I guess, the importance to all of us. I guess to maybe varying degrees about having somebody, a life partner, a marriage, long-term partner, whatever it may be, who's part of the same faith, right? But when we, I guess, are approached by people of the same faith, right? Do we want them to varying degrees? I say that to say this. I'm gonna play a clip, right? And this is from.
Wait. Before you do that, yeah.
Yes.
What do you mean varying degrees? I think explain that first. We play the clip.
So basically, let's just say I'm a serious Christian person, and you look at me and just see Christ. You know what I'm saying? Right?
I feel like it's a bad thing. That you tapped into PTSD there. That was
You just look at me and see
Christ.
Christ.
And let's just say I then go and approach this woman, and I'm like, talking to her, whatever it may be. A lot of the time, it's not me, but another guy, for example, the girl may not be interested. Why is this? Because maybe the guy is too spiritual. But yet you want somebody of that same faith. You want somebody to be God-fearing. Every woman says, I want a God-fearing man, this, that, and the third. But you want a
speak on it.
somewhat God-fearing man. Because you don't want a man that's going to be waking you up for
Prayer,
for
at 2
prayer.
a.m. in the morning.
Did you
night
see
ritual.
RS talking about this?
Exactly.
That's where we're going with it.
That's where we're going.
Yes. All right. We can play
So,
the clip.
all right, let me get this
I
clip
said,
real
yo,
quick.
babes.
So wherever is the lamb in that?
The lamb's worthy, boy. The lamb's looking worthy, boy.
This man has a bit of me though.
He still got it, because that was funny.
Nah, it was
I was watching
hilarious.
it and I was like, no, he's still got it, man. Like, man said the lamb's worthy and that.
A majority of guys that want to settle down, the reason why they can't settle down is because when they find a spiritual sister, she looks boring. And it's the same for the girls. When they find a Christian guy who speaks in tongues, who prays before he makes decisions, it's almost like he's not bad enough. Like, imagine a guy saying, "Oh, hello, sister. My name is Jonathan, and I've seen you around. I hope you're blessed. How did you find the service? Oh, it's a blessing.
You get no guy
so
like
just
that.
wanted to get to know you further and see, just see what the Lord can do. Bible says that
Just see what the Lord
He makes
can
all
do,
things
yeah.
beautiful in His time. I'm telling you, some girls that will be like, they want game. You know what I'm saying to you? Like, they need yo, you're right. What's going on? Yeah, I seen you around in the church and that. I like the way you sing. You're saying worthy is the lamb and that. Yeah, the lamb is therefore worthy and that.
I said the lamb is different worthy in that. That big guy, he did that.
So obviously, I guess what you're saying is facts, isn't it? But why is that? And so I guess my question is, do we get what we deserve? Because it's like,
I don't. Said I'm free. I don't.
but why is it that we kind of want somewhat? I don't want to say it's a lukewarm Christian, right? But you kind of want a Christian who is of the world, kind of.
Like a casual Christian.
You know what I'm saying? There's something about it, right? Yeah. If you're Muslim, you don't want your woman necessarily. Again, I'm definitely speaking generally here.
Definitely, maybe don't go there.
Yeah, all right, cool.
Because the proper Muslims actually want.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's true. Exactly. But yeah, you get the point I'm trying to say, innit?
Even me getting into a relationship or something like that with a girl now, having God in your life and in your heart is all well and good, yeah. But I don't want no like evangelist and that. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I don't want no one going hard. I don't want no intercessor. I don't want no one that's
intercessor.
You know what I'm talking about, though. I don't want no.
He knows
So you come home from a recording. She's like, God told me to tell you.
Yeah.
The way you be talking on no behavior, it's not. It's not holy.
It's not becoming of Christ.
It's not becoming of Christ.
Yeah, and one of the prayer warriors, and I don't look like a prayer warrior.
No, you want a prayer warrior. Your mum's a prayer warrior.
My mum.
Yes.
Yes, she is. They pray in groups, like in. Like there could be like 200 people praying for the same thing at the same time. Like,
do you know how powerful that is?
Apparently.
It's real powerful, you know. Don't try it. So I heard. It's real powerful. Trust me, you want a prayer warrior. I'm a prayer warrior. I pray for all of you guys.
Yeah, but no, I'm saying though, even being seriously, like I'm saying, like having religion, someone that's too serious is gonna be no. For me, anyway.
So I think Emmanuel's asking for each of our experiences. So we start with you. So for you, you don't really need a Christian. You need somebody who believes in God, right?
Okay, fair enough. I'm with you.
So you can't exist with somebody who's zealous for Christ, because that's gonna bleed into your life, and you're gonna be looking at everything around you and feeling as though she's asking you to dull or just remove everything, and that you would fight against that, in my estimation. You can't live with that person telling you everything that you're doing needs to stop.
Yeah.
Because you try to find reasons as to why she should stop what she's doing. You're going to point out all the things that she's doing that she should be focusing on.
You're worried about all the wrong things, baby girl.
So for you, it's a bit weird to answer this question. So let's go to the beautiful lady that says that she doesn't get what it is that she deserves.
Do you know something? Anyway, I'll tell you after. So basically, I get what Iris is saying. I think firstly, there's a few things to address. I feel like you can be a Christian and you can have game, but for whatever reason, people feel like because you're a Christian, you have to be like somber and boring. And do you get what I mean? And I think that's the issue when women talk about wanting a Christian guy. And it's the same for men who want Christian guys who want a Christian woman, because they feel like they have to, that you can't have fun, you can't, and obviously it depends. Some Christians are convicted about like drinking and stuff like that, and that's absolutely okay. You have to give grace to that and understand that and accommodate that. Do you get what I mean? But some people automatically equate being a Christian. There's like a TikTok trend at the moment, where like girls become Christians, and then they show pictures of like them back in the day. Like some girl had like a bodycon dress on. And then she's like, that's how I used to dress in my heathen days. But then she's like, I'm a Christian now, this is how I dress. Yo, she had the same dress on, but with a blazer. Girl, do you get what I mean? So people feel like because you're a Christian, you have to be like a certain way, you have to be somewhere, you have to do this. And that is true for some people. Like I wear miniskirt. I work very hard on my legs, right? I wear miniskirt because I love my legs, do you get what I mean? And whatever. But I don't think that doesn't make me any less of a Christian. But at the same time, there could be another girl who dressed modestly, and that doesn't, she's not any more of a Christian than I am. Do you get what I mean? So people have this whole thing about, you're a Christian, you have to be boring. That's where the game thing comes into.
Isn't that a nice transformation though? The addition of the blazer. Because guys who want good Christian girls,
they're going for the blazer.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Because you still get everything. It's just a little modesty up top.
Yeah, and that's cute.
I'm gonna take off the jacket and still get every single part of the package.
It's not even like this anyway. Yeah. In real life, if you go into a church, if anybody's been in any church, I don't know, maybe not your church because you go to a little white church.
Don't be silly. I knew you were gonna do that. I knew you were gonna do that. You little white church. I knew you were gonna do that.
No, I'm gonna actually. When I say what I'm gonna say, I probably shouldn't have said that because it's making that like black churches are bad. What I'm trying to say is, if you go to most
white church.
No, if you go to most churches, there's like dissent amongst the ranks. Like it's not all in line, there's pure chat and backstabbing and back chat because this one ain't a proper Christian and this one ain't a proper Christian and this one's doing that.
Drama happens in churches.
Like they're even holding themselves accountable and no one ain't good enough. So it's not like, oh yeah, we're all here and we're Christian and we're going. In that church, they're chatting bare shit about each other.
Yeah.
Like so whoever's a right and proper Christian it's all in your own mind. I reckon there should be a certain few bullet points that you have to meet, and if you meet them, then you're good, innit? Because whatever standard you're holding yourself to, everybody's looking at you with different eyes. It's not the same shit anyway. You might think you're doing the thing. There's someone looking down on you like you're an idiot. You're not a proper Christian.
And that's why I find it so interesting whenever Christians want to be like, I'm more Christian than this person or I'm holier than that person, because you just can point out that person's quote unquote sin. Do you know where they're falling short? But yours, you've kept it a secret. And you feel like because yours is a secret, no one knows what yours is, you can now call out other people's. The thing with what Aris is saying, I'll be honest with you, I don't want to be with a fanatic Christian.
What does that look like?
That's like so I've dated Christian guys before. I've dated Christian, I hate to say this, but I've dated Christian guys before, and I've dated guys who are not Christians before. And the non-Christian guys treated me better. Because relax. Because the Christian guys, when I say fanatic, like they're very judgmental. I remember when I wanted to go on a girls' holiday, this guy was like, oh, don't you feel like that's a sin? You're basically going to Sodom. I wanted to go to Ibiza, right? He was like, you're basically going to Sodom and Gomorrah. Like, do you get what I mean? So like a lot of guys are very judgmental. So I wouldn't date a proper because a lot of guys as well, they're following a lot of heavy Christians like that. They're following a religion. I'm not a religious person. Do you know what I mean? I walk by my situation with God is a relationship. It's a faith-based relationship. But if you're a religious Christian, I wouldn't want to be with you. So I get exactly what he's saying because I've had that experience. And I think, for me, it's just that. It's just you like I'm comfortable podcasting, whatever. A proper Christian guy wouldn't like the fact that I do the show. Wouldn't like the fact that I have certain conversations. Wouldn't like some of the pictures that I post, even though it's just kneecaps and ankles. But like, I feel like you should hide that, and it's just too much intense. But the thing is, you have to go where you're celibate. You have to be equally yoked. I feel like guys like that, they can easily find the women who are like that as well. Who, when they wear top and it's got you see my collarbone here. She's got a vest up. She's got a turtleneck because she ain't showing no collar, and that's fine. You can find it's a like for like situation. Do you get what I mean? But I do believe, actually, I was having a conversation with myself in the car the other day. And I do believe that this whole, I want someone who's God-fearing, I think people say it out of conviction and because it seems like the right thing to say. Because when you are with someone who is God-fearing and who does have a relationship with God, if it becomes a threat or if it makes you insecure about how you live, all of a sudden, that's not what you want. Because if we really go down to what being a God-fearing Christian is, a lot of things that people do, you wouldn't be doing that if you were indeed God-fearing. And I think when people have God-fearing partners, if you're someone who is not God-fearing and you say you want a God-fearing partner, you have a God-fearing partner, it's difficult for it to work. Because you start to feel like I've dated guys who feel as though my Christianity is a threat to them. Like it highlights things that they're convicted about. But things that they're convicted about that I didn't even know they were convicted about. But because I'm just living how I'm living, my existence, it does a lot for them. It makes them uncomfortable. Do you get what I mean? And I think that's what's difficult. So you have to be equally yoked. I want a guy who's fine with me podcasting. I want a guy who, when I dress up and I'm in a bodycon dress, he's like, damn, girl, that's what I want. Not a guy who's saying to me, don't you think that's a bit revealing? Yeah.
But do you feel like that has its place, though? So, obviously, I guess there was a time where it's like, women should cover up, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Women should
I believe
go to
in
church,
that.
cover their heads and all this type of stuff, right? Why is it, I guess, in the modern world, we're more relaxed? Because the Bible ain't changed.
The Bible has, you know what, that's true, because there's certain ways, there's certain things I would wear out, that I wouldn't wear to church. But it's not because I don't feel like God is seeing me outside of church or anything like that. I'm still the same person, but I do believe that there is a way to behave in church. In the same way, if I was going to certain family events, there's certain things I wouldn't wear that I'd wear to brunch with my friends. Because again, I just believe you just got to read the room, whatever room you're in. And that's how I operate.
Man, do you have a problem with Christian women twerking in church?
Twerking in church?
Wait a minute. If they were dancing.
Twerking for Jesus?
If they were
That's
dancing,
working for Jesus.
There's
a woman who did that.
Oh yeah, there is. Yeah, there was.
Yeah.
Okay, go
America,
on.
yeah.
Go.
Do you have a problem with that?
It's just a bit of ass.
Do you know what the thing is? Oh, how do I put this?
Twerking for Jesus is wild, so I don't think you can say anything wilder. I'll be honest with you.
No. You know it is because what is the purpose of twerking in general?
It's a dance move.
Yeah. We know it's a dance move, innit? But it's obviously to do something.
No, it's
right?
a dance move.
Oh, it's just
It's
not.
not.
It's a form of dance move.
Just
What does it
dance.
do?
It's just a dance.
You must be on my side.
No, because the whole twerking thing, like, obviously, in this day and age, like, with social media and the way it's done and the whole city girl stuff, this whole, like, it seems...
I'm getting there.
It's sexual.
I'm getting there.
Yeah, no, I see, but, but, yeah, if you know about music and dance and you as an African man and the tribes and these things, this is
it.
dancing,
Yeah.
bro.
This is it.
This is stuff that's been going from the beginning of time, bro.
Dancers have
You
been
get
shaking
me?
their waists.
Been shaking bunda. Like,
Yeah.
and it is what it is. So I don't know why you're gonna vilify it now.
Because-
Obviously, it's packaged different. So I get that.
It's packaged different, but when you know, like even when you said about traditional, there's like some traditional clothing where it's literally crop tops. You just see their bellies, and they've got like low-rise skirts.
Well, once- if
and
it-
all they're just.
What if we're talking about traditional? There's some girl got their breasts out the door.
Completely.
Listen,
naked.
Thighs on
100%,
show.
Yeah.
So what we doing there?
But I think there's a difference because in that particular culture, right, men are not necessarily looking at them and thinking, oh, sex.
We don't know you.
Oh, well,
I think
take
men
a
think
strong
about
man,
sex all
take
the
a
time.
strong men's boy.
think- 'cause it's
There must be
difficult.
some strong men's.
No, but it's just normal. You know what I'm saying? Like for us now, we get to a certain age where it's like, okay, cool. I want to see this girl take something off. But if you're born and just seeing everything's off, it's not the same thing.
You know, I don't agree with that because a lot of girls. I was a young little girl being sexualized. Being sexualized not just by older men, but because the older women around me knew how it was that men were think, they would tell me, oh, don't sit like this, or when this person's coming, like wear this and that. Free Shots were having that conversation the other day. Actually, it was very triggering with Shayo, and they're talking about how like when a visitor's coming, they're like, oh, go and put something else on, and she was like, why would you want somebody else? Like, how do you think you're telling your daughter go and put something more decent on because of this uncle or whatever is coming round? Like, how do you not see the problem is that uncle that you have around that you can't let your child be a child around?
But do you
so this
see
is why I
it-
say
do you see it strictly that way though? I don't necessarily see
it
that way,
is. Trust me, from experience, it really is. But this is why I'm saying that we can't speak for fact and say that women who, like in tribal cultures that we see, they're not sexual. I believe women are sexualized across time. I feel like that is one thing that stays the same. Kate, to take it there, but when you think about like the women who wear like Arabic women who wear who are covered up from head to toe. Trigger warning, sorry, but some of them are sexually assaulted,
Yeah,
and
of course.
there's nothing quote unquote sexual. They have no body parts revealed or anything like that. So that one, nah, women are sexualized across time.
No, but
Different
let me
societies.
try and make a bit of a distinction. Sex is just normal. Sex is like breathing for us. We need it to survive, right? So 100% that's there, but I don't think it's in the same way as here. Like back home, in certain cultures and tribes where they're not wearing no tops and then this and the third, right? They haven't got pornography to contend with. People's minds not doing all types of crazy things, like in the back of their shack somewhere, thinking of some crazy thoughts, trying to
No,
go.
you don't know that.
I don't think it's to the degree.
You don't
it's
know that. It might not be to the same degree.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But it still exists, and I think until you live in a society, until you do research, like proper research where you tick every social research box, validity, all those stuff. We can't make a statement like that.
No, but you can. I tell you why. Because we can then say, you know what? We can look at society, right, and look at the 20th century and say to ourselves, we know certain things have gotten bad in society because of pornography being introduced into society. They don't have it over there. So some of the crimes, the rapes, the trigger warning, right, and all these other horrible things that happen, right, just don't happen over there. And it's because I don't think the demonic side to sex has been introduced in the same way as it has in our society. So when you see somebody twerking, like typically you're only thinking, oh, this person's trying to, push sex to some degree. But I think back then, when people were shaking their body parts and this and the third, a lot of the time it was linked to some particular cultural practice.
You don't
there
think
was
the
a message
uncles-
that's sent out.
You don't think the men who were in the midst of the women shaking their waist were not thinking, oh, she's got a good waist and I'm gonna wife her.
No, that's precisely.
That's sexual, but that's part of sexualizing.
Yeah, but that's what I'm trying to say. That's part of our survival is needed. But I don't think it's in the same way as it is today. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like women just want attention, twerk.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
20 million likes.
Do you know what's mad? Do you know what the craziest thing is? Yeah, because men act as though like women doing certain things is for the male gaze. A female-only branch where there's not one damn man in sight. The security, all the way from the security to the DJ to the bartenders, it's all women.
Yeah,
women are moving the exact same way. They're moving free. Like we're even freer because there's no men around. So how is that doing stuff for attention?
Because I feel like it's come from that same place where people want to be free and be like, okay, cool. This same thing that where I can see this particular girl acting liberal and being free. I can't and don't necessarily have the confidence to do that in front of the world, right? But I feel confident to do it in front of my friends. Oh, this is something that we can joke about. But I guarantee you, again, and maybe this is more so a question. Why is it that some girls, right, who are Christians, who are more modest, I'm not trying to say one's better than the other at all, I'm just saying those who choose to be more modest, wear the whole collarbone t-shirt type of thing, they don't engage in those things.
Because again, it's about different, they're different human beings. Every single human being believes in whatever they believe in and is more comfortable with this and that, right? And that spreads as well into our religions, right?
Yeah.
So a woman being modest and whatever, that's what she's comfortable with. And that's her story. That's what she's comfortable with. But I don't think that she's now quote unquote cleaner or holier or better than the next woman who might wear miniskirt. That's just her. That's her interest.
No, but
the same way. The same way everyone in here might like sports, and you like football, and you like basketball, you like cricket or whatever. Is the same way as a woman. You know, I like covering this up. I like covering that up. Everyone is different. Everyone's story is different. So I don't think that is a measurement for anything.
No, but this is what I'm trying to say.
Wait, Manuel. Marks, what do you think? Do you think that the sexualization and abuse of women existed before porn spread it en masse in the Western world?
Yes.
Explain.
That's not what I'm saying, though, Brent.
And I know.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm aware. But people are thinking that's what it is that you're saying. So I want to know.
Because men been abusing women from the beginning of time. Right. Porn wasn't the catalyst for it. Like, do you get what I'm trying to say? So if your argument you're going to make is that in the Western world where everything's overly sexualized and porn's in people's face, and then it's gonna maybe not influence people more, but cause more heinous thoughts and stuff like that, then all right, cool, there's an argument for that, but I don't think there's no correlation to that, the porn and the abuse. Like, because at the end of the day, women been fighting for their rights for their whole life. You know what I'm trying to say? That they only started voting and thing bloody the other day. So before all of that, the stuff that was going on wouldn't even have been seen as abuse. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? That the things that they was doing to women, they wouldn't even have seen it as abuse. It just would have been normal life. It was common nature to box a guy in the match, you chatting shit and take what you want. You're saying your husband can't rape you and all these things. That was just normal.
Rape became illegal.
There you go.
Because that was never a crime. And
the only reason why they would have to make it illegal, make it a crime, it must have been rife.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? It must have been a problem that they have to address now. Actually, you know what? This has got to stop. This is too far. Or why would you address it if it wasn't a problem? You get me? So. Yeah, but he didn't mean that. It did sound like a bit like that, but he didn't mean that.
Yeah, just to clarify that. And I started by asking about the twerking in church. There's a reason why I started there.
Yeah.
But obviously we now went to flip and go elsewhere. So let me go back to the question, Emmanuel. Because I don't think you answered it.
Okay, cool.
Are you okay with women twerking in church?
This is... sorry. The silence is deafening.
No, because I'm
I would have thought it would be easy for you.
No, I'll tell you why. Because again, like to me, context is everything. You know what I'm saying? So, if you can tell me,
if anybody sees the effects that are emanating from
that was
Emmanuel,
accident.
it's not that he's in hell. It's not that he's about to say anything wild.
Burning fire and brimstone.
What?
You didn't see it. It was set. The effects was right. It looked good, didn't it? You like you was going to the depths.
Everything's just come. Anyway. Right.
Because I was vaping, the smoke was going up on the camera while you was thinking.
My seat is hot. My thing is this, right? If you can say that girls can twerk, right, in front of themselves, right, not in front of themselves, amongst themselves, and it's not for men, it's not sexual, it's just being free. Why can't you do that in church? If there's nothing sexual attached to it, why can't we twerk for Christ as well? Twerk for Allah.
Okay, you believe that?
100%. Why?
Oh, that's lovely.
No, I because it's the same rationale.
Yeah.
If there's nothing negative attached to twerking, why can't you do it in church?
Okay.
Do you get where I'm coming from, though?
Yeah, I do.
I did ask that initially because I believe church is just a place where you congregate, right? But God sees you everywhere you go.
Absolutely.
So if it is that you ain't looking to twerk in church because God could see me, and it's not like untoward of what God wants for me, how are you twerking elsewhere then?
Yeah, but it's like it's just reading the room though. Remember I said earlier, like I wouldn't lips in front of my mum. I wouldn't, because again, that's not how. It's not something that I would be comfortable doing. There's certain way, like I wouldn't wear certain things. If I was going to a family event, I wouldn't wear certain things. Not because when I'm wearing it elsewhere, I'm wearing it at brunch or whatever, God doesn't see me, anyone else isn't. My mum sees me when I leave the house, when I'm going to brunch and whatever. But it's just, I just think people, you just read the room in whatever room you're in. And that's just how it is. Like, I'm comfortable. I could be around my girls here in my underwear. I wouldn't come on TDA in my underwear.
Okay.
Do you get what I mean? Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, just to clarify, yeah. When we're reading the room, right, and the women decide, okay, I don't want to twerk in church.
Yeah.
What are we reading in the room? Is it the other people in the room or God's presence in the room?
We are the other people.
So let's just say it was a small church. We started, right?
Yeah.
A woman pastor, 20 in the congregation, just women. Is it okay to twerk for Christ there?
I'm not talking for Christ nowhere.
No, I'm just saying.
Do you know what I mean?
Not you, but you know what I'm saying?
But
is it
again,
okay to
but
twerk
it's
for
difficult
Christ
for me
there?
to answer it because of how it is that I read the room. Even the Bible says, was it Paul? Even Paul said, he said, there'll be people amongst you who don't like to drink, right? Who don't drink alcohol.
Yeah.
So when you're with them, be mindful of that. These are people that still drink whenever they're not around a certain group that might drink. Same way he said about meat as well. So some people around your congregation don't eat meat. So when you're with them, respect them. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
But obviously, when you're not with them, you will eat meat. Yeah. And for me, it's the same thing. When certain people, I just don't think that people need to be seeing my bum jiggling.
You see,
all up in the
churches,
church.
yeah. Some churches play secular music in the church.
Yeah, some churches do.
So if the songs, if it's song appropriate, then and people and people are turning up in the middle of a celebration and they're dancing and doing what they're doing.
But I wouldn't do that. See, I'm saying it varies. Everyone's interest in stuff varies. Like I wouldn't do that. I don't go to like hip hop based churches.
No, but this is what I'm saying though. When even like when they're playing hymns and them choirs and that, and even if the songs are like there's no reason for you to be twerking in there, innit? You get what I'm trying to say? So if you was in the church and it was playing
Kirk Franklin, do you want a revolution? And you're doing using your cheek saying whoop whoop.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? But it's like I don't know what churches you don't go to. But I'm saying if the music's appropriate, like if you're in the church and they're playing Juvenile Back the Ass Up, like are you gonna be mad at anyone twerking? Why are you gonna be mad at anyone twerking for?
No, but the thing is, you can't necessarily say that twerking is linked to being back home and back in the days just dancing, yeah. But then we only just dance to a particular type of music. The way the songs are constructed in like the gospel songs, yeah,
there's no reason for you to twerk to them.
Yeah, exactly. Because you know,
are you saying constructed in terms of lyrics though?
Not even the beat, the
because
tempo, everything. Like, there's just no reason for you to twerk to them.
Gospel rappers, yeah, right now are making beats just like I don't know, some of the
So that's what I'm trying to say.
producers
That'll be music appropriate. So if
That's
it
what
comes
I'm
in the
saying.
church and the 808's
That's
kicking
it.
and you want to bounce, then
that's it.
bounce.
But
Okay.
in my church,
Okay.
I can't twerk to shine Jesus shine. It doesn't.
Yeah, of course.
It doesn't. But it is.
yeah.
If it's a case where like praise and worship is going on and stuff, I would dance how.
Yeah.
I would dance. I mean, like with
Yeah.
the waist, and I would do all of that. But again, it's not. It fits. The playlist.
I don't want to.
So dying over that.
I don't want to. You have to forgive me, Esther.
Yeah.
I don't want to put anything on you, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like something inside of you tells you it's not appropriate in church, right? You pretty much said that.
I said that.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
not for twerking in church.
This is what I'm trying to say to you. And so my thing is, if it's completely something that is we can't do here, there's something in our minds telling us why. And I think it's because twerking is linked to something sexual today.
No, but I would go around. Sorry, caller. I would go around with like a can of like cocktail, right? I could drink that anywhere. I'm not drinking cocktail when I'm in the house of the Lord.
No,
Do you get what I'm
I
trying to say?
initially asked this question because I'm comparing Christian sisters to Muslim sisters.
Okay.
Because yes, they wouldn't. they would read the room, but
Yeah.
they would read the room in life. In life.
Not all the time.
I hear
That's a generalization. That's a big generalization.
I'm
See,
talking
go and see the
about
girls on TikTok.
when I'm comparing the Christian sisters to the Muslim sisters. I'm not saying the Muslim adjacent. I'm not saying the ones who are rubbing the lines of what is right, what is wrong. They're having anal sex because...
Okay, all right. Yeah, carry on.
I'm talking...
Because they want to stay virgins, innit?
Even the Muslim brothers will pull them up. Doesn't matter where they
wild,
find them.
That concept is crazy.
I'm
a
a
virgin.
virgin. That
Just,
one day. The compensation.
preserving the nouns, you know. That's serious.
But
the mindset, the attitude. You know what? Picking them up, man.
But they're not jiggling their bum bum in the mosque.
Yeah.
The same way they're not jiggling their bum bum
At brunch.
at brunch.
Yeah.
They're saying Allah is looking at me everywhere.
Yeah.
And my brothers are looking at me everywhere.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Just the comparison between the Christian sisters, because you would see full on Christian sisters telling you, nah, I'm jiggling this in the club because. Do you understand? They would tell you, but yeah, all that crap. That's the modern day Christian woman. And I like it. I like a bit of a sinner, you know, making their way to sin.
I like a bit of a sinner.
Me too. I am this. I am this.
Your wife is
And God talks about being equally yoked, right? God talks about equally yoked. I ain't going no 5 days a week to sell. I'm doing that. I'm not hosting anybody in my house. I know who I am. And God knows me and he loves me all the same. So I understand why it is that certain lines and certain practices, it's not endearing for me.
Yeah.
You're doing too much. You understand? if you want to sit down and talk about let's talk about the Bible and where it came from and how many times it's changed. Oh, I don't want to talk about that. You're black. All right, then we're not yoked.
Yeah,
we're not
definitely.
yoked. We can't be parlaying.
Yeah.
We can't be brunching together.
I feel you.
Do you understand? So I like when it is we have conversations like this because it shows that Christianity is not monolith.
At all.
It's not.
At all.
I don't think the caller is on the line.
Oh, I forgot.
Oh,
Sorry,
same,
caller.
man.
Oh, you done them dirty.
Sorry, caller. Call back,
Call
please.
back again. Sorry. But no, yeah, I just think everyone has to. It's whatever you're comfortable with. Like, there's certain things that I'm not comfortable with, but there's things that I might be comfortable with. But someone else will look at me and be like, "Oh, like why do you do? You say you're Christian. Why do you do that?" But then I would look at something that they don't hold that big a deal and be like, "Oh, I'm not comfortable with that." I just think it's just, yeah.
But
That could be part of the problem, actually. Though
I think, obviously.
Say that again. What do you say?
I said that could be part of the problem
Oh,
That what?
because everyone like it feels sometimes like we all remix. But then when I think about it again, with the example I gave about Paul, about the people who eat meat and the people who don't eat meat and the people who drink and who don't drink, I guess it's just been like that. Because everyone has got different, everyone's story is different, do you get what I mean? Yeah. So the reason why I may not want to do this will be personal to me. Yeah, man, anyway, Karen.
Yeah. No, I was just going to say, I think to some degree, I think people just don't want to admit that twerking has got some sexual stuff to it.
No, but it is.
You know what I'm saying?
No, but it is sexual though. But again,
Max is just making an argument.
You know what I'm saying?
Yours.
It's 100% a sexual dance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's for a reason, right?
no, but I agree with you on that though. But
Yeah.
what I didn't agree was you saying that, you know, the tribal dances and stuff wouldn't have been seen as weren't sexual.
No, because they weren't. Not all of them anyway. So, some might have been. Some definitely in a particular context were to attract a mate. You know what I'm saying? But some were just dancing, maybe exuding some type of power or calling on a particular deity or this, that, and the third. It was part of their culture. It was ritual. You know what I'm saying? It's not like today. Today's just straight. You know what I'm saying?
No, but you know what it is though? I feel like with twerking as well, I just struggle to agree with that because with twerking as well, yeah, there's like excessive, like there's like twerking, like Megan Thee Stallion twerking. And then there's like light twerking. Do you know what I mean? So not all twerking will give you that sexual vibe energy like that. So, but I just can't not see that these other dances as well would have been seen as sexual. Because again, I just feel like with twerking, the aunties and the four aunties and four mothers and whatever been dancing with their bum. Been dancing with their waist, you know that.
100%,
It's
yeah.
just now, obviously, it's evolved like everything else does. But I don't believe that we're like. Do you know what I mean? I don't believe it wasn't so sexual now, and then now it's like the ultimate sexualness. I feel like it's always been that. But it's just now, it's just different degrees now. But
yeah, I guess so. But I guess like most things, when you get past a certain threshold, it's like, come on now, this is too much. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, the aunties would have been shaking their bum this, that, and the third, right? But they were clothed up. They had a wrapper and everything, right?
Trust me, you were still seeing that bum jiggle.
Yeah, 100%.
When I used to go to my grandma's church, that's how they would. All right. So now you can find the horn. But do you know what I mean? Like, you will still see what you see. But I think, I don't know, man. It just is what
I don't
it
understand
is.
where this stuff comes from because nobody twerks in church. So how come I've even heard the phrase before that? Nobody's doing this stuff.
Twerking with Jesus.
Let me not say African Americans, but it's happening in America, black people.
There was
What,
some
like
woman-
Ice Spice twerking like?
No, there's some woman basically. She's I don't know if it was it didn't look like a skit, but she was some form of pastor or something. But again, this is what people take the piss of Christianity. And she was basically there with like these other girls, and they just looked like Insta baddies, like baddies, right? And they had like red jumpsuits on and red heels and whatever, and they were actually just twerking it out, and they claimed this was a church. But I don't know if it was real church or whatever it was.
So
I don't think it's a church anyway, even if you call it a church.
If that's the word, if that's the message that God put into her that
God,
day.
don't do this. You have to do this. You don't have to do this.
Okay, fine.
I'm
just saying.
intercessing.
Huh? Bruv,
You don't have to do this.
Bruv, sometimes they wake up and they get a word. They don't know. They've guided in it. They don't know. If that's what they got told to do.
You don't want them to do that.
Okay.
Not even Young Miami and Megan told them to do that.
Do you
They need
think
to do
it's
that.
the spirit of city girlism that is bleeding into the church? The church is being watered down by modern day practices.
Yes, but not just with like city girls. It's the same way where some churches have like business conferences. Jesus turned over tables, because they were out here exchanging money in the temple. And you don't think that going to church and doing business conferences and seminars about how to be a millionaire is appropriate for the house of the Lord. So it's not just with like modern day women. I don't know how I did that. That's actually a thing. Modern day women. It's with everything. The Christianity is watered down in so many areas. So many areas. But this is just one of them. But again, because the world, society hates women and has to highlight everything that women do.
They just focus on the city girl.
They will focus on the city girls. But
I just think
when
this is a joke.
the other pastors are doing what they're doing and coming in there with all the blinged out and Rolls Roycing and all that kind of stuff, when Jesus said, don't seek first the kingdom of God, everything else will be added unto you. We didn't think that. That was okay.
So what's the difference between them pastors doing all the big dripping and all that, and then her just
This is
doing
what she's
sexy
saying.
stuff?
That's what I'm saying.
That's what
It's
I'm
all
saying,
the same thing.
I was asking you, what's the difference?
There's none. There's none. If you're looking to focus on the women because you hate women, let's look at the guys. Let's start hating guys.
Were they
there's
doing
pastors as well, that do the
lights
thing where-
twerking like you called it, or was they doing Ice Spice twerking?
This one, they were doing Megan Thee Stallion. You might as well have when they're doing the handstands as well. But it's with, there's some like male pastors as well, who do stuff like, but it's a cult, but they call themselves pastors as well. Where they like to the women. Actually, I watched a documentary? I think I did. And basically, his story is that he's the only one who can, he basically's got holy sperm.
What?
Holy sperm. So he's the only one who has sex with women, and all of them have his kids. It's wild. And then there was one as well, he said basically he has to like suck their breasts and stuff to ask blessings to them.
You hear
There's
about it all the time.
there's all sorts
All
going
the
on.
time
So
you hear about it.
all sorts going on.
White pastors?
Sounds about white, I think.
Oh,
But the
serious?
black pastors are doing. I don't
The
think.
black ones are definitely doing it.
But the black pastors definitely do the whole sleeping with, and I've got holy sperm. All the men a lot of men who think pastors think they have holy sperm. Cursed sperm, but
It's crazy.
do you know what I mean? So it's not just a thing where it's like, oh, modern day women are ruining church. Nah, church is being ruined, period.
Oh yeah, human beings, man.
This is it.
100%.
And that's where the real problem is, but it will never get sorted.
Is this benefiting men, like, at the very baseline? Because if it is that women are coming in with a spirit of city girlism, this is great for the men who come to church for those women.
Yeah, a lot of things that women do, though.
Well,
They wanna see that.
Quite a lot of men don't come to church for God.
There's that.
You're boy on me for.
you agree with me?
Yeah, you're right. But I don't know about it. I ain't never met no girl in no church.
But is that true though?
Man, I think more women go to church for men than men go to church. I think actually, you know what? It's a healthy balance because they understand what's happening. But I think
women go.
women are the attacker, if that makes sense. The men in church are countering just picking up what you're giving off and seeing where we can go. I think the women are more intentional.
Yeah, I think
in
there
their
are more
days.
women
So
in
you're
church
saying
than
women are
men.
leading men to sin in church?
No, you know damn right.
This
That's
is what he just said. This is what it says.
It's not sin because if you find your partner in Christ, what are you talking about? That's not sin.
It's a good thing.
Find a good thing.
You found a good
He
thing,
finds
bro.
a wife. Finds a good thing.
He finds God. He finds a wife, finds God, didn't it? And they know what they say. So
Amen.
there you go.
That is so funny, man.
Amen.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
All right. So Emmanuel,
Yeah.
do you want a spicy saint? Well, sorry. You have a spicy saint already.
Okay.
If you were hypothetically to delve into
The polygyny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
yeah. Would you want a quote unquote boring Christian?
No, you wouldn't though. I feel like I don't know how to even put it. I mean, obviously there's a time for everything in it, but at the same time, you want somebody who can obviously pray, who's serious about God, right? And I guess in your belief system, right? Yeah, man, 100%. But I feel like sometimes the balance is off because a lot of the people who are in church and are super like, again, like you see them, you just see Mary, mother of Jesus, right? A lot of them have they're not really cerebral. No disrespect to them, yeah. But a lot of them can't really think outside of the context of religion. So when you're facing normal life, the only thing is, let's just pray about this.
And that annoys you, right?
It's not annoying, but it's unproductive. Or it can be very unproductive, I should say. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's just not how you live life. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I don't like that.
No, so you've got to find a balance, man. There's times when man's going through real things and people trying to talk shit to me about God and thing and prayer. I'm rude, boy. Listen, no, I hear where you're coming from. Don't get me wrong, because I believe too. But you see, right now, it ain't gonna. Because remember, I ain't no faith without works. You get me?
All.
This is the works. This is the works part. This is the works part, rude boy. Yeah, all that talk about. Just stop your foolishness, man. You think prayer gonna get me through this right now? Works.
I can get some gunshots. It can get so annoying. So annoying. And then you just look at them blankly and you're like, is there even any, like, is it worth even saying anything? Bloody hell. But
to just to bring balance to it.
yeah,
I do think because a lot of people prayer is comforting. Do you know what I mean? Like for me, when I'm going through a lot of stuff, like just being able to like just release my heart and my thoughts and what's bothering me to God is a form of comfort. And I think because it works for them that way, where it comforts them, obviously you want to try and help. You want to help someone the best way you know how. And the best way I know how is just to understand that, do you know what, something like I don't have the answers. And so God, I'm putting it to you to help me figure this out because I literally don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's where that comes from.
100%. And obviously is that same prayer, isn't it? Is it the serenity to accept things I can't change, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of the time, because they don't know a lot about other things,
Yeah.
that's why they're ill-equipped to do anything about it.
Yeah.
So it's just like, you know what I'm saying? Let's leave it to God.
There
But
is that,
If
'cause-
you were sensible, you could do this particular thing.
I mean, that's the thing, because that's why Christianity is so interesting, because people's faith and the way that they connect with God is so, it's just so interesting. Because some people, even in my church, sometimes people pray about things, I'm just like, really? This is what you want to pray about this morning. This is what was heavy on your hearts this morning. But one thing I learned while studying law and whatever was that something that is a problem for me, you may not understand it because you don't understand the magnitude of what it is for me. So someone praying about, like one time, some old man, bless his cute heart, was saying how basically he wanted to clean like his roof. And he was like, you know what? Like I can do all things through God who strengthens me. Yeah. And that is facts. That's true.
100%.
But for me, I just think that's a prayer point. Just get on the ladder and get to cleaning. Do you get what I mean? But obviously for him, he's older. Like it would have been a big. Yeah. It means so much more to him than it does to than it would to me. Who would just spring up and just do what I need to do. Do you get what I mean? So I think it is that I do think when you're going through stuff, people who love you and care about you, they hurt while you're hurting. Right? If they're not witches, innit? They're hurting while you're hurting. And some people just don't, because that's how they deal with life. But obviously there are some people who don't matter what it is.
Yeah.
Like some people will be like, oh, I don't want to have for lunch. Lord. But you know what? God is so caring and loving. He caters them people too. He lets them know, have a
100%.
sandwich. Have a ham sandwich today.
How strong is your faith? Like, how strong is it really? Do you guys stop believing in miracles? That God answers prayers exactly as it is that you put it to him?
No, I believe in miracles.
No,
But
So
miracles
what's the problem with actually putting all of these farcical prayers?
No, but
to
this is what I'm
him?
saying. No, but I didn't say there's a problem with it. I've said, for me, my faith, I'll be like, oh, really? That's what you're going to do? But again, I understand that everyone is at different points with their faith. But also, like, God is taking some people through, like, the hardest things in life. That are like, you know what? Any decision I have to make, I'm taking to the Lord in prayer. Because there was times where I wasn't looking to the Lord and I've been bitten one too many times. So I don't necessarily judge. Sometimes I do find things funny. I'm like, girl, you've stopped the entire congregation for this kind of thing. But again, I understand that we're all in different spaces. Like, we all have an individual, like different relationships with God. And if your relationship with God is to ask him about before you cross the road, God, should I go left or right? Even though you got Google Maps, that's fine. But my faith, like, I don't believe in God any less because I just go straight to Waze and say, tap, 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 let's go in. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, true.
And it's just how it is. And sometimes, well, I could be driving and my Waze says go right. I'm like, you know, I'm going to go left. And it turns out something happened on the right. Do you know what I mean? So everyone is just different. So I don't necessarily judge people or anything like that. I just think everyone is just different. Do whatever works for you. I find it funny. I'm not going to say I don't find it funny. Some things are very funny to me. But again, they're not praying to me. It's going to have to do me.
All right. So the initial question was, do we get what we deserve?
No.
All right. I think that we do. Tell me why you think no.
Because I think sometimes we think that we deserve certain things and we actually don't. I think sometimes a lot of people glamorize what it is that they think that they deserve. So it's the same way you see the best in yourself.
But that just means that you're delusional.
There's that. So that's the thing. So we have to dissect it, because some people, if you say to them, do you get what you deserve?
No, it's not. Do you get what you think you deserve? It said, do you get what you deserve? That's the question.
No, I don't. I still don't think so.
Explain.
I just don't think so. That's it. I just don't think so.
Emmanuel.
Yeah.
Do you get what you deserve?
Yeah, pretty much, bro.
Yeah. Why? Why you think that?
Because I feel like everyone. The alternative is basically saying things can just happen to me. I don't like that. I don't like the idea that everything is just happening to me and I have no control. I just don't believe life is like that. I believe when you make a decision, a conscious decision to take control of your own destiny and do something, things that come your way, it didn't just happen because of luck and happenstance. It's because you did something. You know what I'm saying? So this is why I don't necessarily like to belittle the achievements of somebody, even though it may seem on the surface they may be somewhat not as talented, for example.
Yeah.
No, they did something that everybody else didn't do, right, to get there, typically, right? And even if maybe somebody led them there and opened every door for them, it still takes something to maintain being in that position, I think.
So you're talking about it in terms of like works and achievements and stuff like that? Because again,
it was more so like in terms of relationships, right?
Okay.
But
then
yeah.
I double down on that.
As in what? You don't?
I definitely don't get what I deserve. I am a gem.
Are you sure?
Absolutely, 100% fact.
But is it because
It's a fact.
is it because you're looking at where you are right now? So let's just say when you get married.
Back in the day when I was being taken, I've always known.
No, but when you get married now and you're happy and you look around one day and you see your kids and you're like, oh, thank God, right?
Yeah.
Didn't you get what you deserved?
No, hindsight is great, but then but that's the thing. I've got this now.
Yeah.
But I've still had things I didn't deserve. It doesn't change. I feel like finally having what is I desire does not mean that everything else I deserve that to get to this point. I didn't.
Okay, not necessarily, but sometimes, remember, like I was saying before, the journey.
I'm a journey babe.
But there's certain things
journey.
that if it didn't happen, maybe would have affected you differently and made you make different decisions and preventing you from getting that happy home.
So I don't believe that, as well.
No?
Because I feel like some things could have been skipped.
I 100% believe that.
Do you know what I mean? So, and I feel like there's still certain lessons and stuff that I could have learned in other ways without having to. But again, sometimes some of the lessons I've learned in my life has been through disobedience.
Exactly.
Do you get what I mean? So, but I don't believe that just at some point when I then get what I finally desire, it means everything else that happened to me, I deserve that. There's bad things that happen to me that I didn't deserve. There's also good things that happen to me. I don't deserve to be God's child. Do you know what I mean? Like if I'm even gonna go on that level, so I don't believe that you get everything that you deserve. There's some alterations in life that you can't. It's above you.
Okay.
Max, to wrap it up.
No, you're gonna wrap it up because I want to know what you're thinking.
To wrap it up.
Your meerkat smile over there.
Did we get what we deserve?
No.
Talk to me.
Life ain't like that. You're not always going to get what you deserve.
What do you think you deserve that you haven't gotten?
F the world.
Why do you deserve it?
Because I'm just great. Everybody that's ever met me, I've impacted their life in some way, shape or form. I just try to bring goodness to the world and joy. Most people around me, they have good experiences. They smile. I'm talented. I've made music. I've created content. I've done my part. I deserve everything.
Sounds like you've been blessed.
Certainly, yeah, but I want more.
And you are still alive.
That's true. Facts. But I never said. But I'm going to think about me.
Some could argue you've cheated death a couple of times, so your future is still able to get you what it is that you think you deserve.
Oh, my story ain't finished yet.
This is what I'm saying. So when you say no, are you saying no right now?
I wasn't talking about me personally though, but in life and everything, everybody's not going to get what they deserve. I just understand that like you got to take the rough with the smooth in life, innit? And you're not always going to go your own way. You know what I'm trying to say? Like
about yourself, because other people could be delusional.
Okay, well, even me having doing the right things, wanting the right things, you still might not get there. And these are just facts in life.
For the show, you said you ignored God and you you got what you thought was going to come from ignoring God. So it sounds as though you're saying you've lived a life where it is that you did get what you deserved.
You said I've lived a life where I haven't got what I deserved.
Where you did get what you deserved.
Oh, because I didn't listen.
You said there were lessons. You said there were lessons.
Oh, I get what you're saying. So maybe it's all part of the plan. So actually, so what do you believe?
I believe that we do get what we deserve. If we've decided that we are going to hold ourselves responsible for the agency and the will that we have been given, 100% we get everything that we deserve. If I decide that I am not going to subscribe to a particular philosophy or ideology that gets me somewhere, if I don't get that place, 100%, I hold my hand up. It's my problem.
Well, it's not always about good things and always about reaching goals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? Like, there's negative things that happen in life, and some things happen to some people, and you're like, they did not deserve that.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? They did not deserve that.
I hear that, but are you speaking to the fact that sin exists in the world, evil exists in the world, and everybody has free will? We are not going to be able to predict misfortune.
Some people though, like,
I think it's two different things we're talking about here.
Well, some people though, life just happens to them.
Yes.
Like they haven't made a bad business deal for them to lose all their money and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Like sometimes life just happens to you.
Yeah. And we look at that person and say they're a good person. You don't deserve that, right? This is just a human response, yes? But that, for me, is something that nobody can control. That's just that evil and sin is in the world.
Okay,
that
so
has happened.
That's an effect of that.
Yeah, they are still alive, and their friends can now come around them and now look to bless them with favor. They deserve that. That's kind of how I see it. Maybe I've remixed it. That's how I see it. That's how I see
It's what you do.
So let's go to the headlights.
Let's go.
We should have been done in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just do that.
All right, so in our headlines, Finland has become the 31st member of the NATO Security Alliance, doubling the length of member states' borders with Russia. The Finnish foreign minister handed the accession document to the US Secretary of State, who declared Finland a member. Then in bright sunshine in front of NATO's gleaming new headquarters, Finland's white and blue flag joined a circle of 30 other flags. Finland's accession is a setback for Russia's Vladimir Putin. He had repeatedly complained of NATO's expansion before his full-scale invasion of Ukraine. The US Secretary of State, Antony Blinken, said by attacking his neighbor, the Russian leader had triggered exactly what he sought to prevent. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov warned that Russia would be watching closely what happens in Finland, describing NATO's enlargement as a violation of our security and our national interests. It's a great day for Finland, said the Finnish president Sauli Niinisto, who was proclaiming a new era for the country. Finland will be a reliable ally, and its membership will not be a threat to anyone, he said. Security and stability are those elements which we feel very strongly. If people can live in secure, stable circumstances, that is the basic element of a happy life. The next headline takes us to Donald Trump, who has pleaded not guilty during a court appearance in New York on Tuesday, as he became the first former president to be indicted on criminal charges, which is a dramatic legal reckoning while he plots a return to the White House in 2025. Trump entered the plea at 2:45 p.m. after arriving at the Manhattan courthouse, where he was charged with 34 felony counts of falsifying business records during a hearing that lasted just over 1 hour. The charges related to payments allegedly made to buy the silence of a porn actress ahead of his 2016 presidential campaign. No matter who you are, we cannot and we will not normalize serious criminal conduct. That was said by the Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg, whose office is prosecuting the case, and he said that during the press conference after the hearing. Trump was ashen-faced as he and his lawyers walked into the courtroom and appeared downbeat as he sat before Juan Merchan, who was the judge. Merchan asked the former president's attorneys to remind him to refrain from making statements likely to incite violence or civil unrest on social media. He's frustrated, he's upset, but I tell you what, he's motivated. And it's not going to stop him. It's not going to slow him down. This was said by Trump's lawyer, Todd Blanche. Trump posted on his Truth social profile as the procession snaked down the Franklin D. Roosevelt East River Drive. He wrote, "Heading to Lower Manhattan, the courthouse. Seems so surreal. Wow, they're going to arrest me. Can't believe this is happening in America. MAGA." Next headline takes us to, basically there's a groundbreaking new trial that people are taking part in, which is looking into whether existing drugs can be repurposed to help slow down MS progression, multiple sclerosis. The way it's designed means several drugs can be tried at the same time and more can be added or dropped as results emerge. The Octopus trial, so-called because it's a multi-arm and multi-stage trial, is being run by Professor Jeremy Chataway from the National Hospital for Neurology and Neurosurgery in London, with £13 million in funding from the UK's MS Society. A similar trial design had been used to test drugs for prostate cancer and COVID. Existing trial patients who prove to be on ineffective drugs can swap to a new arm and are allowed to continue any other MS disease-modifying drugs they may already be taking. The first two trial medications are high-dose metformin, which is a diabetes drug that may help regenerate myelin, and a version of a high-dose alpha lipoic acid, which is a food supplement that acts as an antioxidant. It has already been approved in Germany for treating neuropathy, which is a weakness, pain, numbness, or tingling in damaged nerves. And the next headline is basically a group of Nepalese security guards who were rescued from the fall of Kabul in 2021 are facing removal from the UK 19 months later. The 13 Nepalese military veterans, known as Gurkhas, were employed guarding the UK embassy in Kabul. Their lawyers say their legal right to remain in the UK since their rescue has been voided by the Home Office. A Home Office spokesperson denied anyone with a permanent right to live in the UK had it removed. The men, who were Nepalese and Indian nationals aged between 37 and 60, were working for a private security firm that guarded the compound housing the UK and Canadian embassies in Kabul. A lawyer for some of the security guards said 10 of them were detained in handcuffs in an early morning raid on their West London hotel last week. They had been living in the hotel, working in its kitchen, serving food to other Afghan evacuees. They've since been held in immigration removal centres close to Gatwick and Heathrow airports. Bam Gurung, who's 37, who worked for 10 years as an embassy security guard, told the BBC he had hoped to start a new life in the UK and serve in the army. He also said, "We are very, very saddened. For 2 days, I've cried with my friend. I cried with my mum. I would have had a good life in the UK and I would have contributed to the UK government." And the last headline takes us all the way to the mighty country of Nigeria, where, unfortunately, trigger warning here, once again, at least 10 security school students have been abducted in Kaduna State in northwest Nigeria. They were seized on Monday from a government school in Aron. Kaduna is one of several states where armed gangs have frequently carried out attacks. In 2021, hundreds of students were kidnapped for ransom from various schools and colleges. But in recent months, there's been a lot of such attacks. Last year, as you guys know, we spoke about on the show, the Nigerian government introduced new currency notes and limited cash withdrawals, partly to try to stop the kidnapping for ransom attacks. As you can see, nothing's happened. But that's it for the headlines.
Word and road.
That's it.
Let's get into word and road. If it's on the ticket already, though, it's fine. I'll talk about it.
It's not.
Okay, lovely. Look at God. So you know, Julia, I told you about who thought she was Madeleine McCann. It was a real story. It was real things. She's got a DNA test that reveals that she's 100% Polish.
I'm not surprised in one bit. But what if there's a conspiracy?
Let me tell you what it is, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
There is a conspiracy that she might have had an accident that's basically deleted all her memories. Mm-hmm. But I feel like with this going, I do hope she gets some help because I do believe her parents and her family is abusive. I do believe that.
Okay.
I 100% believe that. So I feel like all of that stuff is why she came forward. Actually, I take that back. I don't know if I don't want to say that I 100% believe it because I'm only going off what she said and her parents right there. You want water? Yeah, and her parents' response to her coming out kind of thing, as in coming out about potentially being Madeleine McCann. But yeah, man, it's sad. They said she's 100% Polish in it. But obviously, I love a conspiracy theory in it, so I'm just like, what if that's fake? So I don't know. Man. We'll see. But I feel bad for her, and I hope she does get some kind of answers and help if that's what it is that she needs. But she was on Dr. Phil as well, and he was grilling her about why it is that she thinks she's Madeleine McCann and stuff like that. I still see the resemblance. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I still see. But big up her, man. Big up Julia. And then I want to talk about Philip Schofield's, which is a tricky one in here. About his brother. We reported yesterday in the headline that his brother has been was found guilty of sexual assault. 11 counts. That was wild. 11 counts of a young boy that he was offending over time. Over a period of time. So Philip Schofield basically released a statement following all of this. And he says, my overwhelming concern is and has always been for the well-being of the victim and his family. I hope that their privacy will now be respected. If any crime had ever been confessed to me by my brother, I would have acted immediately to protect the victim and their family. Because remember, again, the story was that his brother confessed to him about all of this. He said, these are despicable crimes and I welcome the guilty verdicts. As far as I'm concerned, I no longer have a brother. And of course, obviously, the story, I no longer have a brother, disowning his brother, went out into the world. People were like, isn't this the pot calling the kettle black? Mm-hmm. Because basically, just before he came out, Philip Schofield came out as gay, there was allegations that he also was with a younger guy. But the guy was 18. But essentially, it was like a grooming type of situation. And I believe the guy worked for him. Yeah. So I thought, and then after that is when he came out and said, he's gay. Because I guess people would have been thinking, oh, you're cheating on your wife and and whatever else. But so that happened. But yeah, man, so he's disowned his brother. And then next on my list is about, I thought this was so lovely and so very wholesome. So the Nigerian rapper, Falz, Falz the bad guy, he's proper sick. Beautiful, beautiful man as well. I don't know how to date an activist, but he can get it. For the same reason I wouldn't date like a fanatic Christian. I just don't breathe down my neck. Do you know what I mean? I don't want the kids wanting to go to a sleepover at their white friend's house and now you're doing this is the ancestors. Shut up. But anyways, so I found it very interesting because his dad, so he's a rapper, but he studied law and he's so very well educated and all-rounder. He acts as well. He had this series on YouTube that was so hilarious. It's called Therapy. Very funny. Very, very funny. So he's a good actor. He's like the Jamie Foxx. I would say he's actually the Nigerian Jamie Foxx, basically. And he does a lot in terms of calling out the government in his music videos. He does a lot of that. He is what the Burna Boy fans want Burna to be. They want him to, obviously Burna's vocal, but they want him to be on the streets, boots on ground, the way Falz is. And basically, his dad is also a lawyer. He comes from a family of lawyers. And his dad just gave a statement and said how basically, his dad is a human rights lawyer, by the way. Yeah. And he said how he basically spoke about how it is that Falz is always on the government. Mm-hmm. And he said, one of these guys one day said, this is like an event in Lagos on just over the weekend. He said, one of these guys one day said, Falana, that's his dad's name, talk to your son. He should stop embarrassing the government. And then he said, I said, which government? You mean that boy who is an adult? Can I give you his number so you can talk to him? Stop. I love that. Because you know African parents of your auntie said, like, I love the fact he said, no, I'll give you his number. He's an adult. Talk to him. Mm-hmm. He says, but be careful because when that boy was growing up, I was being arrested from time to time. Exactly. So the only language he understood was detention, arrest, and the rest of them. He says one day when that boy was 6, as in Falz, he asked his mother, our teacher taught us that only criminals were arrested. Is my father a criminal? Why is he always being arrested? And the mother had to say that in Nigeria, and the mother told Falz basically that in Nigeria, under the military, only 2 sets of people were arrested. Criminal suspects and political suspects. And says political suspects are those who are out to expose the criminality of the government. Mm-hmm. He said that is what you see going on. Exactly. Is my son fine? And I just thought that is so wholesome. Yeah. That is a good generation, you know.
100%. His dad was very pivotal in fighting for just the betterment of Nigeria.
Yeah.
When obviously, like you said, when Falz, the rapper, the bad guy, was a little kid, innit? Like, he was the proper activist, the dad.
Love it.
So it's 100%. He's passed it on.
He's walked in that. Yeah. I love it. It's like Sean Kuti as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Boots on ground. Always, like, he gets arrested for fun. And he don't care.
Yeah.
Come back out, he goes again. Like, I just absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. And also positive news, Alexandra Burke is expecting a second child.
Congrats.
So beautiful. Because I remember talking about it on this same show, that when she had her first. And she posted on Instagram a picture of her and her husband, and she said, we are so excited to do this all again. So congratulations to her. Yeah. That is all from me. Let's get into People's Journal.
All right, people, welcome to the People's Journal, where I give you the news from an economics point of view. I don't have much today to talk about, but what I will say is, you lot know the UK-based online store called Book Depository? Yes, you guys do. All right. Basically, yeah, they're being closed down by Amazon. So Amazon, they're the parent company. And yeah, man, they're being closed down. So Book Depository has told customers it's going to be ceasing operations later this month. I'm not too sure if this means there'll be books on sale. I hope there is. I hope this is what that means. Because then obviously we can, do our due diligence and get some good books. But I feel as though maybe they're just moving it towards Amazon just selling the books by themselves via Amazon.com or .co.uk or whatever it may be. But yeah, pretty much Amazon said that they plan to cut thousands of jobs pretty much all around the world. And I think this is just one of those things where Book Depository has just come under the umbrella where bare them are going to be losing their jobs. For those that don't know, Book Depository was founded in 2004 by a former Amazon employee. So yeah, so they kind of just branched off, but I guess later on kind of just acquired them and whatnot. But yeah, they're going to be closing on 26th of April, guys. So I don't know, like I said, if there are some books on sale and whatnot, start looking, man. And the next thing I want to talk about is Emmanuel Macron, who's the Prime Minister of France. He's gone to China, and he's there for a 3-day visit with the president of China by the name of Xi Jinping, and they're going to be talking basically about Russia's invasion of Ukraine. He's trying to get the Chinese government on side with the rest of the West, pretty much, innit? What he said was, China is the only country in the world capable of having an immediate and radical impact on the conflict in one direction or the other. So basically, he's trying to say, look, China is basically the possible game changer in this war. You know what I'm saying? They're able to tip the balance in a positive way through some potential dialogue on conditions for an end of the conflict, or in a negative way if Beijing want to kind of increase support for Russia and provide arms. As we kind of know already, China have not made that step to provide any type of arms yet. They're saying they're staying neutral. But, yeah, obviously Macron wants to go there on some business to try and get them to actually choose a side and choose the right side, which would be the Western side from his perspective. But yeah, man. Like I said before, China have said they're trying to seek a peaceful resolution. You know what I mean? With this whole thing. And also, I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, Putin also said at the end of the day that China have got some bullet points that if we all actually, took them on board, we could potentially end this war. But Putin is basically saying he doesn't think Ukraine want to end the war right now. And obviously, as we know, Putin is not looking to back down. But anyway, that's pretty much it. If there's more updates, I will let everybody know. But this is, again, a 3-day visit. And this is day 1. So we'll see what happens. And that's pretty much it for the People's Journal.
Let's head into the headlines.
Yep. All right. So starting next month, the Ministry of Health will be rolling out a registered nursing program aimed at training 1,000 people annually. And upon successful completion, persons are being guaranteed a job within the health sector. This is happening in Guyana, right? So Guyana is going to be training 1,000 registered nurses annually. The Minister of Health, Dr. Frank Anthony, announced on Saturday, in about a month's time, we're going to open up to the general public and to persons who are qualified. We are opening a call for persons who are interested in doing the registered nursing program. We want to start a program with 1,000 persons this year. He made the announcement while delivering an address at the commissioning of a comprehensive diabetes center located in East Coast, Demerara. According to Anthony, while training has been available for persons interested in nursing over time, the issue is basically space has been limited. He also said, and because of limited space, persons would apply for nursing and then they would have been turned down. But now with 1,000 spaces being available this year, we expect that every person who has an interest in doing nursing would have an opportunity to do nursing. I kind of show you that everyone who's interested in doing this now, we will have space for you on this program. The health minister said the target is to train 3,000 people in nursing over the next 3 years. Once successfully completed, he said persons will be guaranteed a job with the Ministry of Health. The next thing I want to talk about is basically Nigerian music producer and performer Florence Otedola, who is better known as DJ Cuppy, has gifted £100,000 to the Africa Oxford Initiative to support African graduate students at the University of Oxford in the UK. DJ Cuppy recently completed a master's degree in African Studies at Oxford. Big up DJ Cuppy for doing that earlier this year. Is she still with her man, Esther? I guess you can...
Yes.
Oh.
She's still engaged. She's still engaged. We're married.
Okay, wonderful stuff.
Listen, you gotta get how you get, If it means you meet a man in 2 weeks and you're engaged, go forth, sis. Even if his ex is calling him out on TikTok, go forth, sis.
You know what I'm saying? This is what Nat was talking about yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she's tried with so many black men, she couldn't find one. And she found this guy who has been rascaling around all over the place. And she wants to give $10 money to him.
All I would say is... you know when Maxi said about some people don't try hard enough?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. Because I feel as though DJ Cuppy could come here and Marks will take her. Immediately.
No, he wouldn't.
You don't think so?
He'd find it irritating.
I'll tell you the key word here. She's a billionaire.
Oh, yeah, she's
Thank you. Good.
Thank you.
yeah. She could be my soulmate.
That's what I'm saying.
Too much.
So basically, she recently completed her master's degree in African Studies at Oxford. Yeah, earlier this year.
Yeah, she did. Big up her.
Yep, the university said in a statement on Monday, adding that Cuppy's fund will assist African postgraduate students to meet unexpected and urgent financial needs and undertake activities that will ensure the pursuit of excellence in their graduate studies. So it's a beautiful thing, man. Well done, DJ Cuppy, man.
She did well with that. That was good.
This guy.
That was accurate. There we go.
There you go. Yeah. So yeah, man, the 30-year-old international successful DJ has said that she's witnessed variances in university life experiences among African students studying at Oxford during her time at the university. The fundamental role that the Cuppy Fund will play is to narrow resource gaps for those who need it the most so that they can fully commit to pursuing the education they deserve. This is what she released in a statement. For those unaware, we pretty much touched on this anyway. But Cuppy is the daughter of Femi Otedola, who's one of Nigeria's wealthiest oil guys, basically. Yeah. She had previously made philanthropic contributions to organizations advocating for child protection and education for girls, including people with diabetes. So yeah, once again, man, big up DJ Cuppy. And the last thing I want to talk about, and we'll not talk about, just tell you guys, is remember the other day we spoke about Olivia Pratt-Korbel's killer? The young girl who died. Basically, one guy was chasing the next guy. He jumped into their house.
In Liverpool, though? No.
Where? Yeah, random sides, up there somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And the mum opened the door.
Exactly.
Yeah,
the mum shot the mum, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Shot the mum too. But
The mum
killed the daughter. Basically, trigger warning here. I think that was a bit too late. But yeah, gangsters have placed a £250,000 bounty on that guy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Gangsters.
Yeah. Amid fears that he's going to basically G them up in it. He's going to
Gangsters, you mean like the Met Police?
No. Real.
They're the real ones.
Real, like, yeah, man.
Oh, wow, I love that. Community, this...
Well, I mean, it's for a reason.
Oh,
We're
okay,
going to get
never
to it,
mind.
yeah.
All right,
Basically, they're scared that he's going to grass up the gang members to lighten his sentence. Yeah.
So they're trying to catch him before they all get got.
Basically.
We'll take a win is a win, you know. I'll be honest with you. Take it.
So yeah, man. So Thomas Cashman is the guy who shot the 9-year-old Olivia dead last August at her home in Liverpool. He had been aiming at a drug dealer, Joseph Nee, who was 36, who had run into the house moments earlier. Cashman is 34, who had reportedly been linked to 3 other unsolved murders, faces life imprisonment when he's sentenced. When he was sentenced for Olivia's death. We spoke about this, I think, yesterday or 2 days ago. A gang insider told The Sun, right, that a bounty to silence him was issued and has already been circulating in the north and around jails already, right? So the source added that there are several people who will not think twice about carrying it out. News of the bounty was publicized on encrypted messaging app Telegram. So it's all over Telegram now, apparently. Those who ordered the hit are understood to be worried that Cashman will turn over information about gang executions and unsolved murders in an attempt to improve the terms of his imprisonment. There's concern his testimony would cause a world of pain for several big organized crime bosses who do not want their activities being looked at. According to the source, again, they said he has nothing to lose. He is cornered. There's lifers who will be mixing with him in months and years to come who will not think twice about carrying it out. The insider added that Cashman knows everything there is to know about organised crime, drugs and violence in Merseyside. The convicted killer claimed in court that he was only a cannabis dealer, but allegedly he's been known as a hitman who thought nothing of putting a bullet into somebody.
Has he been arrested?
Yeah, he's been
So the bounty is for someone to kill him in prison?
basically, yeah. Anywhere you see the guy. But yeah,
Well,
basically,
anywhere,
yeah.
he's in prison.
Yeah, basically. But yeah.
That's
it's
wild,
already
though.
circulating in jails.
But then so the people that are offering the money, are they like anonymous about it? Or do we know who's offering, like, can they say, oh, it's Thomas Smith that's offering the money? Because then aren't you revealing yourself?
Yeah, but like you wouldn't necessarily. It's not like there'll be a real paper trail, innit?
Okay, it's like a word on road type of,
Yeah.
the right people know. If you know, you know.
There you go.
And when you say organised crimes, do you reckon it's like government stuff as well?
No, I don't think so. I think it's just like guys who've got proper organized,
Dealings?
like criminal, enterprises up
That's
north.
not that exciting. I thought they were going to take down the institution or something.
Nah.
Okay.
But yeah, man, that's pretty much it for the headlines.
Thank you. Let's get into the reaction.
Welcome to the reaction. Getting to our sports headlines. And you watched the game yesterday?
I watched a little bit of it, yeah.
Whack.
I watched the first half.
Actually, you know what? Chelsea was cooking in the first half, but they just couldn't get over the line,
I
innit?
watched the second half.
Second half was a little bit less than that, but Chelsea was playing some good stuff. They just couldn't break the deadlock. If Liverpool played like that against you lot, you might win the league.
No, but they went home.
Who went home?
Liverpool went home.
Oh, they weren't at home, you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, but still, it didn't look good at
I
all.
think form kind of goes out the window when
In big teams and stuff
you
like
go
that.
to Anfield, man.
I mean, I hear that, but they looked toothless yesterday. To be totally honest with you, they looked toothless. So I don't know. It was a good result for the top four. I'll read you out some of these results quickly. Bournemouth lost 2-0 to Brighton, Hope Albion. Leeds beat Nottingham Forest 2-1. Leicester managerless Leicester lost 2-1 to Aston Villa, and Chelsea and Liverpool got a boring score draw. And yeah, there was not much to speak about. The game was boring. They dropped points. They both lost ground in the league. Nobody else important was playing. And yeah, that's where we can get into something else. Let me give some reading for you. Let's see what we got here in the dot. Messi may leave PSG in the summer. Okay, that's interesting. Lionel Messi is increasingly likely to leave Paris Saint-Germain when his contract runs out this summer. Messi's representatives has been in talks about a contract renewal with PSG, and everything was looking positive during the World Cup in Qatar. However, the dynamics has now changed, and his departure from Paris this summer would suit all parties. PSG considered the move to sign Messi as a free agent in the summer of 2021 to have been a success on and off the pitch, but sections of the club's fans have turned on the player since they were knocked out of the Champions League by Bayern Munich last month. Messi and the team have not been performing as well as expected since the World Cup, losing 7 games in all competitions in 2023, and his departure in the summer would fit in with the club's new strategy of focusing on young French players instead of signing superstar talents. Messi has scored 6 goals in 13 games in all competitions in 2023. The summer would be a convenient time for PSG and Messi to part ways, although a decision on his future has not been made yet. And in our final sports headline, we are letting you know that Amir Khan cheats. What's he done here?
On.
I'm nice to see.
That's it.
British boxer Amir Khan has been banned for 2 years after an anti-doping test revealed the presence of a banned substance following his fight against Kell Brook in February 2022. The former light welterweight world champion tested positive for Ostarine. Khan, who retired from boxing in May, accepted he broke anti-doping rules but said it was not intentional. An independent tribunal accepted that argument, ruling out deliberate or reckless conduct by the 36-year-old. I've never cheated, Khan told Sky Sports News, but I've got a 2-year ban now, which is quite strange and funny because I'm already retired anyway. There's no comeback planned at all, but I've never cheated and I never will. That's just not something I would do. And that's what he's saying. And that's the end of our reactions. Let's get into Out Ere. Why are they taking a piss?
It's one of those debatable ones, to be fair.
Let's see who. I like those ones though. We sit down and we deliberate.
I mean, they could be. Let's go with the hazing one because people keep. It's just like college stuff.
Yeah.
This is people. People love foolishness so much.
Yeah, but to be fair, the other people they made it clear where they stand on that.
Yeah, that's true. This one here, I need to decide who's done it here. So, basically, today's candidates for Out Ere are a group of kids. Yeah, I don't know if I want to give it to the kids that's responsible or the not so-called victim is a victim. Basically, yeah, there's a kid called Trent Lerkamp.
Trent sounds like a naughty kid.
Trent Lerkamp. He's only 19, but he went to like a friend's party somewhere off the Georgia coast. They're saying, I don't know if it's just like college kid stuff. Like, you know, when they do like, I don't know if this is frat house stuff, but you know, like when they do like all hazing and all that and initiation stuff and all these kind of things, innit? Yeah, they mash up their brethren. Good and proper, boy. There's a picture of them all around him. He's slumped. He's got stuff all over him. He's covered in red spray paint. He's actually done it here. Like he looks down bad. And this is done in the name of This is done in the name of friendship. You get me? He's covered in
friendship.
No, he's covered in red spray paint. He's cooked there. Yeah, I think they made him drink copious amounts of vodka and forced him to take antidepressants. Stuffed mushrooms down him, all these kind of things. I don't know what it was in aid of. I think it's just all like banner. You get me?
Yeah.
My man woke up in hospital. He was cooked. He was. Hey Brent, go to that one. Look. He was out for the count. Look at him. Look how they left him.
Nah.
Finished him, man.
They finished him for banter. I think he survived. He got down. His breaths got down to like 6 breaths per minute or something like that. Like he was like cooked. He survived. He's out now and he's well. And he's talking about justice will be served. Yeah, but like,
nah.
He let them do this. I don't know if someone even if it's banter, and I don't know about this whole. I'm not from that
my
culture
gosh.
of like initiations and stuff. So there's only so like, and you don't know I'm stubborn. There's only so much people are gonna get me to do, innit? Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, you know, there's gonna get to a point where I'm gonna be like, no, I'm just not doing that, bro. Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? So I don't know if they literally force fed him or what. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So it's messed up, yeah. And partly I want to see like where the accountability lies. Like if he played along. And it's like I'm saying that hazing culture and stuff like that, and then things went too far. But now he's coming out screaming, talking about justice will be served and all that. Like, is he taking the piss? Because I mean, there's something to be said about people going too far and all that.
100%.
But if you're complicit with these kind of behaviors, like people do this kind of stuff all the time. If you went there to your friend's yard and you're down in your friend's basement and they're doing foolishness and they're telling you to do foolishness and drink this, drink that, and you're doing it, and things go too far and mash up, where don't you take some of the responsibility for that?
Do you not think they should judge it? Is if he's ever been part of it to do with someone else. Because now it's used, now it's too far. But were you part of it when it did to someone else? Because were you shouting justice will be served when it was someone else?
Well, listen.
They need to stop that culture though, because it's always there's cases where it goes left.
Yeah.
Oh, because you want to join a frat.
What's wild about this? No, it's not even wild. I'm seeing the reports. Like Trent's sister. So this Trent's sister got like a Snapchat, from someone like to letting them know like Trent's in trouble. You get me? And they hit her up. They're like, N-word. Oh my god.
What? Serious?
One more time.
That's it. It says N-word. Oh my god. I know you're sick of hearing it, but like I wasn't there. But like Trent is effing dying apparently. So
This is his sister.
Someone's messaged the sister that.
Oh. But Trent and them are black. And to be fair, apparently anyone could be now. So.
I'm just saying, I'm just saying, because it ties in with the conversation we was having.
Oh my gosh, girl. And she said, oh my gosh, N-word.
It's the first word is,
yeah.
Oh my god. That's the message they sent the little white girl.
That is crazy.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying.
Huh?
How can you be saying my brother's dying? You're like he might be dying or whatever. Do you want a slap on Snapchat?
I'm trying. I don't know who. I want to get to the bottom of the case. I want to know what kind of the person was who sent the message.
But you know who sent the message.
Was it? Oh.
It's another
white person.
Well, definitely.
100%. Probably one of the beaters. Probably. Said, watch this.
You're not doing a good job of reclaiming your word, man. You just let it go. Just let it go to pop, man. This is crazy. But that's what happened. Again. I think they're all done at here because some of that stupidness, forcing your friends to drink liters and liters and liters of alcohol and taking mushrooms and giving them antidepressants and then spraying. Like sometimes you've gone too far. He's also got to take accountability and responsibility for his actions because there's only so much foolishness someone can get me to do. You get me? There's going to have to get to a point where I draw the line and say, bros, I ain't playing no more. You get me? And you're going to have to physically force me to do stuff. And then you're changing the game. Then it's different now. You know what I'm trying to say? Then I can tell you justice will be served and then thing there. So I think they're just all done out here, if I'm honest with you. Because it's just stupidness. It's a culture that needs to dead. I don't know, like I said, this jock thing, frat house stuff, it's just nonsense. You get me? And if you're not going to be able to control it and be safe, then you're not just doing foolishness. You nearly killed your brother and sake of nothing.
That's scary, man.
So the whole blood in, blood out thing.
I don't know that. I'm not from that.
Yeah. So is there any sort of equivalent in this country to kind of cement your loyalty?
No, I mean there might be some gangs that try and do that kind of stuff, but for the most part, I don't know people that partake in those kind of things. Yeah. Gang culture's changed a lot in this country over the last decade or so. But from my time, we wasn't. I think it's something that I don't want to say it's been constructed because obviously people take their part of it, but it wasn't like that. We're not here and joining up and it's all proximity. We all live here. We're all friends here. We all grew here. We all went to the same school here. We're all here. You don't have to test yourself. There's no. I'm just saying that. We ain't a gang. We're brethren that hang about together. You get me? So I can't speak to that. I don't know. Yeah. But even if there is, it's all foolishness anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like there's frat kind of hazing, and it's just white people hazing. You know, they're doing that. You know, when they're in rugby club, someone falls asleep, you put their dick in his mouth. It's like, you know what I mean? They do some wild stuff in these little white sports, groups and stuff. So, I think as a culture, as a unit, as a race, they need to start there.
If done constructively, Emmanuel, is there Is there something like virtuous in it?
It can be, I think, because it tests. It tests. What's the right word? Just, I guess you deserving to be there. It's kind of like.
All right, you're gonna say back in the day where they used to go and fight lions.
Exactly. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or even today, people will get whipped, or whatever it may be, in order to get a wife, for example, right?
What culture is that?
Yeah, back home. Certain
Today?
cultures. Yeah. There's quite a few tribes that do that, actually.
What's that got to do with getting a wife?
Just show that you're strong enough to take certain things. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
You know what's so mad? Give me the ick.
But it's part of the culture. So the women actually think, wow, it's amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like, look how much he's bleeding. You know what I'm saying? Look at the scarring.
He's strong.
He's strong. He can look after me. You know what I'm saying? He can look after this family. So I get it. You know what I'm saying? So that same type of principle here, showing that, okay, you know what? You won't betray us. You're strong enough to take whatever comes our way, right? I get it. But this thing here,
This is just saying it.
I don't understand.
That's wild, man.
So Stacey says there's a difference between white people hazing and black people hazing. And she says black fraternities and sororities constructively haze. But there are some that take it far. White people is a lot of drinking and eating rubbish. Black frat sororities has a beating culture, but it's about discipline. I can't say that on record. Someone may crap. I heard you said it. This is happening in real time here. Sorry.
I said keep this anonymous. Oh,
goddamn.
Next time you got anonymous, you better start with that. It's like trigger warning. You got to start with this is anonymous. Okay.
People always love to put. Can you keep this anonymous at the end? I'm like, it's too late. Already said it.
It's all entertainment, guys. It's all entertainment.
The camera's on me.
That is funny.
It's entertainment, guys. It's all entertainment.
That is funny.
Allegedly.
That is funny. Oh my god.
To be fair, it's not the one that they know, innit? It's the Stacey from India.
Facts.
This is it. Exactly.
Yeah, it's Jacinda.
Oh. I'm gonna say it all down here. If you find out more about the story and he was under duress in any way, shape, or form, then he's off the hook. But as it stands, yeah, they're all down at him, man. Let's get into our outro. Break it.
There's a bit of breaking news, guys. So basically, the husband of the former First Minister, Nicola Sturgeon.
Oh, no.
That's right, she has a husband. Has been arrested in connection with an investigation into Scottish National Party finances.
Ooh.
He's been taking the money.
We don't know yet. It's just
embezzlement.
It's just rumors. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to tar him, just yet.
Yikes.
Peter Murrell, who's 58, was taken into police custody this morning.
Oh, yeah, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, man. My sources told me because they're seeing it right now happening.
Real time.
So that's right. So Police Scotland said officers were carrying out searches at a number of addresses as part of the investigation. Mr. Murrell, for those who don't know, resigned as the party's chief executive last month. And this is a post that he had since 1999, right? He's been married to Miss Sturgeon since 2010. And as you guys know, Miss Sturgeon also stood down as First Minister last month. Is there a coincidence? I don't know.
I feel like she just knew it was coming.
But yeah, man. Breaking news, guys.
See how men will embarrass you. I'm sorry, I'm joking. Don't get your thongs in a bunch. All right, we're natural, right?
Girls are saying the same thing in the comment section. God damn.
When you're the first Prime Minister, you know.
Don't sync up too much, man.
When you're the first Minister. I get the bloody stuff, mate. But guys, thank you for being with us for a great show. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to like the video. Okay? I feel like you should be liking upon entry, but okay. Like the video, thank you very much. And also subscribe to the channel. And what's happening?
No, it's just... Someone just said, my sources. You mean BBC News, man? No, my sources are there.
Listen,
There's black Scottish people, you know.
Was that a man that said that?
Yes.
I knew it. Always ruining things. Anyways, follow us on our social media platforms the day after TNB. If you want to send dilemmas and all that great stuff in, the number is 075 64841073. If you'd like to inquire about the show or feature on the show, the email address is thedayafter@thenewblack.com. Got a surprise announcement for you guys tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to tune in and like the video to find out.
We also got a guest tomorrow too.
Yeah. That just sounds shady. We're shady. No, we do have guests tomorrow. It's a very special show tomorrow for several reasons. Mainly for what I've got to tell you. But anyway, see you tomorrow. Bye.
Peace.